all of a sudden I realized, oh my gosh, we are way off the trail. Now we're on an adventure to get back to the groove.
It does kind of feel like we're like cresting a mountaintop and the sun is just rising in the distance. The orange skies that fade into violet.
There it is, the ocean. We were promised it would be majestic, and it is. It is. The foamy beaches, the white sand. God bless this great nation.
What's out yonder? The NFL draft.
So yeah, we made it. We actually did make it. Was a long voyage from the time the Super Bowl, the final whistles blew, and the Chiefs thrust the Lombardi Trophy skyward. The NFL draft is here, folks. Yeah, so Draft day 2024, Bears, Caleb Williams. It feels like it's done. Or is it?
Right.
It is.
That is the question. Yeah, right.
Yeah, it most likely is.
Yeah.
But then the Commanders, I mean, still, this is the big talk of the day. It's, could the Commanders trade down in the first round, giving access to another team to jump up and get Jaden Daniels, Drake May, whoever would be the next pick off the board? And if they do that, like, what team would it be? Well, like, let's start there, because look, the Padres won yesterday in Colorado. All of a sudden, they're good
so
again.
Good.
They're so good.
good.
I mean, probably World Series.
Oh, my God.
We'll get to that. Matt Waldron, knuckleballer, Cy Young Award winner. We'll talk about him and that performance as well. NBA, there's craziness on the Eastern Conference side. We'll get into that. But what team would be most likely to run all the way up the board and say, yeah, we want the second overall pick?
Well, I'm sure there's a lot of teams that would like to. It's what teams are there that have the capital to do so. I mean, moving up to number 2, who could do it? I mean, the Vikings? I don't know. I mean, I think they would want to. I think the Broncos would want to. I don't know.
Let me give you what's an interesting thought that I had, and it's odd that they're the next logo we're seeing on the NFL Network, but like the Patriots right now, they're going to be not getting the scraps because they obviously have high draft capital. They're the very next pick. But what happens if they just want to flip-flop? What happens if they want to have the second quarterback off the board? Everybody's known for months now that Caleb Williams is going to Chicago, outside of a little blip on the radar where his dad said something like, well, if he goes to the Bears, he's going to want equity in the team. Like, that was a sourced report out of nowhere. And then that kind of fizzled and went away like everybody knew it would, because that's not happening. But outside of that, it's really sort of felt like that's already done, the two. But how about the Patriots, like bumping up a spot and saying, no, we want the second QB off the board, because guess what? We aren't going to battle with Jacoby Brissett and Bailey Zappi this year. Turns out we want to do it with, Jaden Daniels out of LSU, and we can see a future with that guy.
I thought the same thing. Like, what if the Patriots just did the Bears-Niners thing where they swapped up to get Mitch Trubisky? You remember that?
Yeah.
But now everything you read is that the Patriots might be moving down in the draft. Like, it's a little confusing how this draft is going to be playing out. And I think ultimately we won't know anything until the Bears are on the clock tonight and trades start happening. I do think the most likely team to move all the way up is the Minnesota Vikings. I think they have the draft capital to do it. They have the need to do it. They have trust in a new head coach to do it. And if you hear what all the quarterbacks that were coming out in this draft are saying, apparently their favorite interviewer, their favorite process of talking to any head coach was Kevin O'Connell, that they all just really want to play with him. JJ McCarthy said I would run through a wall to play with Kevin O'Connell. And that's kind of the sentiment you're getting from a lot of these guys. So maybe it's the Vikings who have this unfeathered trust in Kevin O'Connell to make it happen, where he says, no, I want this guy, and he's going to be at 2, not at 3. Let's go up to 2.
Did you say unfeathered?
Is that the right word?
Feathered.
Fettered?
Otherwise, it just means he's like a bald chicken.
It's like a naked bird.
I'm unfeathered.
Yeah.
You are. Gosh dang it. And I'll tell you right now.
Okay, but everything else I just said makes a lot of sense,
no,
right?
Actually, it does.
But I hung up on feathered.
Because the Vikings, like you pointed out, they have the number 11 and number 23 pick. So to your point, if they do trade up, maybe they don't have, it's not going to cost them as much in terms of their future as other teams, right? You package those 2 picks, you move up to the second overall draft pick, and then you don't have to spend a first rounder next year to make that move. And so you're kind of like saying, all right, we're encapsulating all this effort to get this player in just this draft in terms of how it's going to, damage our draft capital. And then you get the player you want at number 2 overall, potentially.
Yeah, it feels like that would be the best scenario for the Vikings. And unless they know of where they want to sit and who they like, and they're comfortable with where they're at, then all of a sudden having 2 picks in the first round, that works out real well.
Oh yeah. Well, and that's the thing. If you are the Vikings or you are, the Giants, and you're a QB needy team, whether you have a QB who you're paying or not, in the case of the Giants, they're paying a quarterback. They just might be paying the wrong one. In the case of the Denver Broncos, they are paying a quarterback. He just plays for the Steelers now. So there are other quarterback needy teams, but will value land at 11 for the Vikings? Will value land at the quarterback position at 12 for the Denver Broncos?
I think we're going to see fireworks. I really do. I think most of these teams move up. I think more quarterbacks are drafted in the first round than we initially thought there were. Like, I think Penix and Bo Nix both end up going in the first round, and I don't think either of them drop out. And I think it's going to be because of teams moving up. Like, I think we're actually going to see quite a bit of trades today. Now, I say that now, and then we get to the draft and absolutely nothing happens. That's possible too. I've been wrong before many times. But I tell you, the most interesting team to me in this draft is still the Bears, who have 1 and 9. Like, they have 2 picks in the top 10. Are they going to use both of them to try to make this team better?
Quarterback.
Dude, I mean, they've been wrong so many times before. Why not even the odds?
Caleb Williams, Penix Jr., let's go.
You guys got to fight it out.
It's going to be a celebrity death match. We're going to have Claymation Mills Lane. Let's get it out.
It does. God, I miss that show.
It was a great show.
God, I miss that show
you
so
missed
much.
that whole era.
Celebrity death
Oh,
match?
my gosh.
Oh, my God.
We should actually go into not our office today and then put up on the big screen like
The 75-incher?
Oh, yeah. Which, by the way, we've been told to take down. We won't.
We were told a year and a half ago.
Right. And we didn't. It's still there. We should play that for Fletch because it was a great show.
Oh.
But maybe like Caleb Williams and Bo Nix. You have a
they make them box.
Yeah. Or like you put them through like the beer Olympics. Like I'll tell you what.
Like, if that's the case, I am a Bears fan. Yeah, I want to see it happen.
Yeah. So listen, NFL draft happening today, 5:00. I remember my own draft day. It was bonkers. Back then they did first round, second round. I think it was a 2-day draft. Now it's a 3-day draft. They did first round, second round on the first day, and then all the other rounds on the next day. So I was drafted, if I'm remembering correctly, on a Saturday. And it was one of those days where I realized very quickly as we sat down, like my whole family sat down and turned on the NFL draft, it felt so awkward. My wife was there. My parents were sitting on the couch. Nobody knew if they should talk to me or not. So I'm just like, hey, Annie, we should probably get out of here for a little bit because I'm not going to go in the second round.
Right.
And so halfway through the second round, we went out to a driving range near my house. And so, just hitting some golf balls, having fun, goofing around. My agent called me once. I'm like, go figure. I get drafted while I'm at a driving range. I call him. He goes, hey, I do this every year. Look, I don't care how this goes. I believe in your talent. You're going to land somewhere special and it's going to be the perfect fit. Just want to say hello to you and don't sweat anything. It's all going to take care of itself. And I'm like, hey, thanks, Joe. Appreciate that. He hops off the line. We're about wrapping up at the driving range anyways. We drive back home. It's the start of the 4th round. And within less than an hour, all of a sudden I get a phone call from Bill Belichick, Robert Kraft, the head coach and the owner of the Patriots at the time. And it's just like, hey, we're going to take you right here. And it was, to that day, it was the happiest moment of my life. I will never remember a moment as clearly as that moment. It was unbelievable. So for the 200 plus players who are going to get that phone call over the next couple of days here, you're watching lives change. You're watching dreams come true. It's awesome.
Birth of your child, getting drafted into the NFL. Rank them.
Ooh, dude.
Children.
Well, yeah, children. So I got 2 boys, and I got to be honest with you. childbirth is more terrifying
Yeah.
than fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, NFL
Yeah.
draft way better.
Yeah, yeah. Because it seems like it's like all upside.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
all happy.
Yeah, childbirth is like, oh, I feel like I'm at like a Civil War tent, and like there's someone doing surgery in here. It's bad. Everybody's screaming. Yeah,
Like there's somebody sawing a leg off in like the near distance. You're like, what? Why am I? What is happening? There's so much blood. I wasn't told that would be
Things
so
seem
much.
like they're touch and go all the time, and
Yeah.
no one really says anything.
And then all of a sudden, you're a dad. You're given this insane responsibility immediately. Like, by the way, immediately they're like, "All right, now, good luck." And you're just like, "Well, we can stay here not for long though. Tomorrow, we're kicking your asses out of here."
Did you have to cut the cord?
I didn't do it for Ty. I did it for Sebastian. And any dad who's ever done that knows the feeling that you feel when you're holding a pair of essentially scissors and you're cutting through flesh. It is a strange moment in your life also.
Is it gross?
By the way, there were
It was not fun.
we did not, on my draft day, we did not have to cut any human flesh, which was, so,
That's also a
I
plus.
just
Again,
like ate
more-
tacos.
yeah. We had burgers. Like I had several beers.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow. Yeah. I mean,
This
it's-
sucks
yeah.
because for schmucks like me and TD who aren't ever going to get drafted into anything except maybe like a war, the best thing we have in our lives.
I am too old, buddy.
Like-
you still maybe.
No, I have a broken leg. But TD, like the best moment of your life was having a kid. How bad is that?
Yeah, it's terrible.
Like,
I mean,
dude.
awful.
Oh God. A terrifying experience. Anybody who's ever been through it.
The best moment of your life was just that.
Yeah.
I haven't even had a best moment.
Yeah. Well, you've had a best moment, but it could be like,
Wait, let me think
like,
about it.
like, a last second pee,
Oh,
photo
yeah.
finish pee.
That's pretty
It
good.
could have been like your best moment so far,
I'll tell you what, though, there are a lot of great moments throughout your day or
which I
your
read in
life.
an article, by
Like,
the way.
I remember one time. Yeah, you did.
yeah,
You
yeah.
read
Read,
that in
an editorial.
editorial about that. I remember one time I was driving. You remember, okay, do you guys remember when you were a kid? Maybe Fletch again, you might be too young. You're 26, 27,
28.
28. Geez.
I know I'm old.
Boy,
getting
really old. Yeah, maybe you're about to dodge the draft.
But there was a point where there were the all the way back seats that actually faced out toward the road.
I've been in one of
In
them.
the,
You've been in one?
Yeah, in the station wagon.
Station wagon. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
It just had like one giant door on a hinge.
yeah, like either you had a hatchback that opened up, or like it was a giant door that opened up, and there were two. Usually, the kids you like the least, you sat back there. So I was always back there.
Right.
And you faced out the rest of the road. I remember the happiest moment up until draft day was there was something called Whip It Out Wednesdays that a station in New York did for a long time, radio station. And like chicks would just flash cars with the bumper sticker.
Good.
And my creepy uncle had a wow sticker, a Whip It Out Wednesday sticker on the back of his station wagon. We were driving to the beach one time, and a couple of chicks who were going to Jones Beach also, one of them was wearing a bikini top in the passenger seat, and she just full on flashed the honkers at us.
Man.
And like,
Unexpected
So that
nudity.
that state, yeah, unexpected nudity.
and I'll tell you right now, I was in the wheelhouse. I was like 11, 12 years old. And I mean, like literally looking at my cousin John, who's sitting next to me, and then looking back at
Did that just
I
happen?
was like, it was the happiest day of my life. I'll never forget it.
Wow.
Up until draft day, guys.
yeah, yeah.
Up until
Oh, yeah,
draft
yeah.
day.
Wait, was the wedding in between that?
No.
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
oh.
The wedding. It's like, gosh, the wedding. I don't even really remember a lot from that because there's so many things that happened leading up to it. I do remember our priest did at one point during the ceremony take out a pair of handcuffs.
Wow.
He was like,
Wow.
I also work as an officer of the law. I was just like, what is happening right now?
If you got married on a Wednesday and it was a Whip It Out Wednesday at your wedding,
Now you're talking.
I mean,
I now
good.
pronounce you for the first time as a couple, Mr. and Mrs. Rich Orberger.
Just across the crowd, tops go flying.
We're saying to the priest who was a guy, why are your nipples so dark?
Man, I grew up, my family owning like 2-seater cars.
Yeah.
Like we had a few Corvettes.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So when we had like trucks and things like that. So, and the trucks were never like a bench seat. It was always 2 buckets. And then I had to sit on the
Oh,
plastic center console.
or that
Yeah.
that fold away jumper seat in
There-
behind.
no, there was none of that. This
Yeah,
standard cab.
So it
Yeah,
was.
yeah.
Oh, this was like a toolbox.
Oh
that,
yeah,
that was
yeah.
nestled.
Or get in the back and lay down. The Corvettes, you would get behind the seat, and there was this little cavity, and you'd have to be in the fetal position, laying on your side. I remember that as a child. Thanks, Mom.
Good thing you weren't a fat kid.
Yeah, well, I was actually. Maybe I was depressed because I didn't have a place to sit, so
You're
I
just
just started eating.
You're just getting
Yeah.
hit with cigarette ashes that actually don't make it out of the window because Corvettes have long windows.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's just blowing in and then back it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was cool,
Yeah.
real cool. So I mean, long story short, if it was a Whip It Out Wednesday, I was tucked in the back. I didn't see any.
Yeah.
So text line today, 70470. Start your message with team. Best unexpected moment of your life. None of the dumb stuff like kids or marriage or I don't know. Like a draft would work. So if we have anybody who
The
played in the
dumb
NFL.
stuff.
Yeah, can you imagine somebody else is like, yes, I was also drafted in the first round. We're like, really? Yeah, actually, yeah, really high. Really? Yeah, I'm Ryan Leaf. And we're just like, got
Oh,
it,
yeah.
What's up,
got
Ryan?
it.
How'd
Thanks for
that
listening.
NFL career go, bro?
Thanks for listening.
But seriously, text us if you have like a Whip It Out Wednesday story. We want to hear it.
Pretty incredible, man. One of a couple hundred people that year, and I mean, you start adding them up collectively. You are a chosen few. What a feeling! What an event! I mean, do the butterflies start now for some of these people, or is it just like you're fine until it is time?
It depends on the person, the personality, like how much they've thought about it. I really always have tried to compartmentalize, like, especially for whatever reason, like the good things, the successes, like I'm like, all right, I don't want to get too high on the hog here. I better just temper down all those, fun emotions of, like it was my dad actually that helped me through a lot of that, which was, he was like, you got to realize sometimes that what you're doing is really cool. Like, I know that you're trying to handle it all and be, a man about it and like, not try to get too overly excited. He was like, and he always called me Butch. He was like, but Butch, like, buddy, what you're doing, like you just pointed out, he was like, very few people get to do in this life, what in whatever given field. He was like, so it's important to pick up those pebbles along the way, realize like, whoa, like I'm doing this now.
Mhm.
And he was like, and whatever that may be, a draft day or, the first time you run onto the field as a New England Patriot or, whatever it is, celebrate the wins along the way. He was like, because they become memories pretty quickly. And you want to make sure you captured that moment in your head, in your mind, in your memory, the way that you should. And that was good advice, because along the path, like there were moments where I would stand on a field. I'd be like, for example, I'm standing on the field at Lambeau Field, and I'd be like, whoa, this is pretty cool. I'm about to start a game at Lambeau
That's
Field.
incredible.
Like
Incredible.
moments through Notre Dame. I remember taking stock of that moment. Penn State played Notre Dame. It was my third or fourth year at the school. And I remember standing on the field. I'm like, Rudy was shot here. Like, this is kind of neat.
To that point, only approximately 27,000 players have ever played in the NFL. That's not very many people. It's a lot more than the NBA, though. Only like 4,000 people have ever played in the NBA. So
it's ridiculous.
Isn't it crazy?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
But 27,000 people. So the guys joining the NFL today, congratulations. The 262 of you over the next few days.
Yeah.
It's a pretty incredible thing, man.
No question.
Especially when you think about how many colleges there are, how many college football players there are, how stiff the competition is to even get to this point, because that's the elite of the elite. And now you're going to the elite of the elite of the elite. And then how many people end up in the Hall of Fame? Maybe we'll get 2 that are drafted over the next couple of days who actually do.
That's 100% accurate. And I can promise you, for the most part, guys who are hearing their name called, they have visions of that type of grandeur, right? The potential is limitless before you actually play in the NFL. You don't know how your career is going to go. You don't know how many, if any, Pro Bowls you're going to win. You don't know, if any, how many times you're going to actually be able to get to the field and start a football game or get to the playoffs. Like, there are certain really talented players, Hall of Famers, who never knew what it was like to play in the postseason.
Yeah, think about Calvin Johnson.
I mean, it's crazy.
It's like he had a bunch of first round exits in the playoffs, and that was the best he ever did. He's one of the greatest wide receivers to ever live.
So it's a thing, man. It's a special day. It's a significant day, and there's going to be a lot of talk. There's going to be a lot of booing because certain teams will pick an unpopular draft pick. Like if the Chargers, if all of a sudden the Chargers at 5th overall take an offensive tackle. Every single time a team in the top 10 takes an offensive tackle, it feels like a reach, even though it's not. I mean, sometimes Joe Thomas, perfect example with the Browns, Hall of Famer, a guy who barely played in the postseason. I think he he finished his career without ever appearing in the postseason. So it's an example of that. It's a crapshoot. You don't know where you're going to go. But nobody loved that pick in Cleveland. They grew to love it because they realized, oh no, this guy's pretty good. But there will be some booing. There will be some booing tonight as well.
Did you see the latest rumors about the Chargers, by the way?
Yeah, it's wacky.
Out of nowhere, JJ McCarthy all of a sudden went to like plus 600 to be the Chargers pick at 5.
Why? I mean, other than the fact that Jim Harbaugh talked up JJ McCarthy, to me, that felt like he was doing his buddy a solid to try to get him a higher pick in the draft.
And it went from impossible odds to inexplicably yesterday in Vegas up to plus 600. And Adam Schefter was kind of ambushed on that.
Yeah.
He was on some show and Adam was like, what?
Okay, so this is the ultimate smokescreen. There is zero chance that the Chargers take JJ McCarthy. What they're trying to do is gin up interest in having somebody come up the board at number 5 and trade them out of that spot. Or this could be potentially coming from one of the other teams in the top 4 who wants to trade down. And if they start sourcing it out, like we just got off of the phone with the Chargers and they're going quarterback at 5th overall. And I think we all know what that means. And so if that story gets out, well, all of a sudden that makes that number 3 overall pick with the Patriots or the number 2 overall pick with the Washington Commanders look a lot better if they're interested in trading down, because it's like, if you want JJ McCarthy, you may not be able to get him if you wait. So Vikings, Denver Broncos, you better get up above number 5 or number 5 and then trade yourself into this top 5 to get him.
It's going to be like 2:00 this afternoon. We're going to get breaking news. Justin Herbert, Chicago Bear.
Yeah, oh my God.
Could you imagine? But that's what Schefter was talking about. He's like, even if they trade Justin Herbert, the Chargers would still be in cap hell for some reason, something with his contract. But it made no sense that jump happened. And now that it has happened, it leads you down a million different lines of, well, what Rich was just saying. Like, it doesn't make sense because of Justin Herbert or the teams that want to trade up, blah, 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 whatever. But it makes zero sense that Vegas would get bamboozled by a smokescreen, because generally it's like something happens and you hear the rumor, but then Vegas doesn't move and you're like, oh, it's nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But Vegas moving like this is concerning, to say the least.
Did I tell you what? If I was looking for a quarterback, I'd go off name alone, Spencer Rattler.
Yeah.
Who's a Gamecock, by the way.
I would love to see TD like in the war room, just like, guys, I've got a perfect nickname picked out for him. Okay,
come on.
The tie-in, the promotioning, the marketing, and everybody's like, no. The answer is no. Again, we don't care how many snake tattoos you're looking to put on this athlete.
But guys, I've already made this logo.
He could wear like a sock puppet on his arm, and it's a rattlesnake. It would just be incredible.
The offense will be called Strike Force.
Speaking of Strike Force, we got San Diego Strike Force tickets to hand out today. A pair. You could potentially win Indoor Football League's own San Diego team. Also, a pair of tickets to Luke Bryan, North Island Credit Union Amphitheater, for his August show. So if you want to win either of those tickets, you got to keep listening to the show to do so. Padres win in Colorado. Woo! They're great again. We'll get into it. What a performance by Matt Waldron. He threw one pitch and got 2 balls. I'll tell you exactly what we're talking about coming up next. But first, want to talk to you guys about our show's weight loss. Over 115 pounds down as a show. SDFatLoss.com is how we did it. We were super fat. We were unbelievably unhealthily, morbidly obese.
Right.
And
people would make fun of us.
Mm-hmm.
Deservedly so.
No question.
Yeah,
we accepted that. And then we talked to Wayne and Chloe at SDFatLoss.com, who they were like, well, we can help you lose weight. And we were skeptics. We're like, yeah, nah, probably not. We tried actually on our own. We had zero success. And so we're like, well, we'll give it a shot. So a week later, the show was 30 pounds down. And then 30 days later, the show was over 100 pounds down. So you catch my drift. Not only did we do all of that, but we did it the natural way. With SDFatLoss.com, you're not going to take prescription drugs. You're not going to be on one of these weird yo-yo diets where you lose all the weight, you gain it right back because you're counting points or counting calories, or you're taking these goofy shakes or getting meals delivered to your house, and then all of a sudden it stops and then you gain all the weight back. This is a completely different program. They will walk you through all the steps. They are available for any of your questions. They were for us. It was an incredible process, and it was really fun to see the weight fall off and then compare, like, send pictures back and forth of the scale. It kept going downward. So if you have somebody in your life you could do this with, it's the best way to do it. A little bit of the buddy system. So if it's a spouse or a brother or an aunt or an uncle, grandma, grandpa, somebody in your life who you can, a friend, you can just take on the journey with you. That would be a cool thing too. And then plus SDFatLoss.com. If you mention this show, Big Rich TD Fletch, you get to save $200 on your subscription. So why wait? If you're still saying to yourself, gotta lose this weight, this is the way to do it. SDFatLoss.com, SDFatLoss.com.
This update's presented by the Jim Patrol Real Estate Team. Padres win yesterday in Colorado 5-2. Getaway day today. Padres play at 12-10, looking to take 3 out of 4 from the Rockies. Last night in the NBA playoffs, the Heat even up their series with the Celtics with a surprising 111-101 win. That makes it a 1-1 series. Thunder go up 2-0 on the Pelicans with a dominant 124-92 win. Coming up tonight, Lakers hosting the Nuggets for Game 3 at Crypto.com, looking to avoid that dreaded 3-0 playoff hole. Listen to that game right here on San Diego Sports 760 starting at 7. Right before that, it's the NFL Draft Round 1. You can listen here on 760 beginning at 5. Bears getting ready to make that first overall pick. Would you like to know what your home would sell for today? Get a simple text message with your home's value by texting your address to 855-600-6000. You'll get no phone call, just a text. Text your address to 855-600-6000.
We got Luke Bryan tickets. Luke Bryan going to be at the North Island Credit Union Amphitheater August 8th. Tickets and info, Ticketmaster.com. We have San Diego Strike Force tickets this Sunday, April 28th, against the Bay Area Panthers. SDStrikeforce.com for tickets and info there, or just keep it locked in here. We're going to be giving those away very shortly. Meanwhile, the Padres, oh, man, it got real dark. It got bad, real bad. Big Rich, CD, and Fletch, by the way. But now, all of a sudden, the Padres turn it around. They're so good. They're so good. Xander hits the ball 75% of the time. That's all. That's all there is to it.
By the way, I was looking
from now on, buddy,
out of curiosity because Jackson Merrill had another couple RBIs yesterday, and it's like he's just been on fire. You know, Jackson Merrill leads the team in batting average, 318. Jackson Merrill leads the team in hits with 28. It's just ridiculous what the rookie's been doing. He's been fantastic in the outfield, like rookie of the year numbers so far through this year. It's who were those idiots that were saying, how can you bring up a 20-year-old this early?
Yeah, I don't know. Who said that? Who said that?
He looks behind him. You know, what I love about Jackson Merrill is how he handled some of the early interviews during spring training. That's kind of when you knew that this was going to work, is hearing him talk. He sounds like a veteran of the game of 10 years. He doesn't sound like a guy who's just starting his Major League Baseball career. But that's what this is. This is a special talent. And we know baseball, it's so much more mental than it is physical.
Right.
You got to be a good enough athlete, but the most important thing is you have to have like a bulletproof mind to be able to get through some of the slumps. And look, I mean, on this team, there are certain guys who are battling. You look no further than Bogaerts.
Not anymore.
Yeah, I mean, like this is when you start to see that veteran ability to overcome some things start to shine. Like Mike Schilt, very vocal about it. We're going to stick with a guy who has an impressive career. He's a World Series champion. He's got some stuff he's working through, and we're going to stick by him while he does it. And we're starting to reap the benefits of sticking by this guy.
Yeah, I wonder how much of it, and I mean, you could speak to this. You played professional sports, man. How much of it is we know, as looking at Jackson Merrill, we know he's going to be fine if we move him up, and how much of it is, hey, we're crossing our fingers and hoping we get lucky that the head stays right. And we know he's got the talent, but can we keep the head right at 20 years old?
Boy, it's column A and column B. You just don't know. That's the reason why the NFL draft, for example, is such an inexact science. Like, well, we say, well, these guys were great college football players. Why aren't they great pro players? Well, it's a completely different game, and that's true for minor league baseball and Major League Baseball. You're going from a league that's a handful of veterans who have gotten some time at the major league level, who are bouncing between, say, AAA ball and the pros. And then you've got a bunch of guys between the ages of, even late teen years, so like somewhere between like 18 and say 26, who are just dying for that opportunity to play at the next level. But then once you advance to that next level, you're playing against guys who have played for 20 years in some cases in this sport, who have seen literally everything, done everything.
Mortgage payments,
yeah,
child care, maybe a couple alimonies.
Yeah, some guys have lived full lives. Some guys by the end of their careers are grandpas. Like, I mean, that's how ridiculous the difference between a Jackson Merrill and a guy who's making his exit. I mean, on the same team, Jackson Merrill he just turned 21.
Yeah.
He's got a pitcher on staff who's nearing 40 years old.
Well, and he has Xander Bogaerts, who's going to have a contract till he's 42 with the same team.
Yeah.
It's tricky to
You
see.
Darvish could be his dad.
Right. And with the Padres, you have examples of things going both ways, right? You have Fernando Tatis Jr., who got pulled up really early on before he was 20, I think. He was 19, maybe. But Fernando Tatis Jr., like, we can be very honest looking in the rearview mirror. It hasn't necessarily gone exactly how the Padres wanted it to go. He's been fantastic, but there's been a lot of issues too. And then Ryan Weathers, inclement weathers, they pull him up because they think, man, this guy's got the skill. His first start was in a freaking postseason game. Like, his first appearance in a Major League Baseball game was in the postseason
against the Dodgers.
Yeah, and they bring him up, and you know what? It went well for a little bit, but then it really crashed and burned. He's no longer with the team, and so it's like
that's when he became inclement.
Yeah, exactly. You have these different examples within the same clubhouse of the Padres bringing up guys really early, and sometimes it goes well, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? Watching that game last night, though, I thought, God, the Rockies suck. I mean,
really bad.
they are awful. The Padres should sweep this series, which obviously they're not going to. But I mean, come on, get a win today.
You'd sign up for 3 out of 1 anytime there's a 4-game series.
1,000%. Yes, it's just looking at the Rockies like, good God. I mean, it looks like they're almost in another league.
Nah, it really does. Speaking of like AAA ball, it does. It feels honestly, and this is no offense to anybody who's stuck by the Padres for all these years. In fact, it says something positive about your personality if you were able to. But it feels very much like how the Padres used to be, where you're watching like a team that's basically a farm team for the rest of the major leagues. Like, the Rockies are going nowhere fast. And I don't know if there's going to be a commitment to really build this roster up, or if they're going to trade away important pieces to other teams like a lot of teams do and just sort of rest on their laurels and collect profits and things like that. But right now, this team is abysmal. And you're right, the Padres should sweep them. But this gives you a glimpse into the randomness of baseball. On any given day, a team can put together one good inning and then boom, they can win a baseball game. That's exactly what happened against Michael King a game ago. He was sailing and then he hit the 4th inning, gave up 5 runs, and guess what? That's all they needed. Yeah. They had 2 more runs during the game, but all they needed was 5 to beat the Padres. It would have been a 5-4 ball game instead of a 7-4 ball game if they didn't add another single run. All it takes is 1/2 inning going your way, and that could be the whole game.
Yeah, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Today, I think the Rockies who are they starting? A winless pitcher. I don't know. It should be a win for the Padres.
Dude, yesterday was also a winless pitcher.
Was it?
I think so.
Yeah.
Well, it remains that way.
And well, in Padres, who's due up in their lineup or rotation? It's Yu Darvish, so it'll be Randy Vasquez instead of Darvish on the mound today. We'll see what happens with Darvish in the future. He's got that neck tightness. They rewound the clock on his stint on the IL because it was announced on a Wednesday last week to Monday. So we are now, a week and a half away. It's the 10-day IL. He should be available for his next start. I don't know if he will.
No, I think it was 15-day. And so it's going to be not this next start, but the one following, most likely.
Yeah. Okay. So there you go. He'll miss 2 starts, but that's all. And then, so we'll see. It's kind of going to be a bullpen day. We're going to see what the Padres are able to muster together. And if there's ever a game or a team to have a bullpen day,
Today's
good day.
913 with a really good point. Speaking of things that got announced last week, a really positive thing that got announced last week is John Schaefer, the new voice of Aztecs football. 913 says, Rich, have you hazed Schaefer yet? Maybe we should do a 999 where he has to beer bong 9 kombuchas, eat 9 Almandar X bars. If you're feeling really hazy, you could have him complete forms for Lone Pronto.
You know what? That 999 somehow sounds insanely worse. Than 9 hot dogs, 9 beers.
No question.
I mean,
that sounds like vomit central. You're boarding a train to just absolutely chucking.
Today would be a good day for a 999, by the way.
It would be
10 first pitch.
Yeah. Well, not for
field. Usually games go a little longer there because there's balls more in play more often.
Not
if it's a
us.
bullpen day, it's going to be moving along a little slower.
I would suggest no one do this. I would suggest no one do this. No one do the Pocky 1 chip. These are all dumb ideas.
Yeah, that was a bad
but
day.
What if we do like the 999 at one of our places?
In a more comfortable set. Well, yeah. I mean, what was more comfortable than doing it in the office?
But I'm saying, like, Kendall and I are planning on maybe purchasing a place next summer. Like, why don't we next summer plan for a 999 as like my housewarming party at our new place?
I don't think we should do that again.
I'll host.
Well,
I don't think the problem is like hot dogs and beer are pretty cheap. Like the problem was eating.
Yeah, weren't looking for a host.
Yeah, like it was like I think total I might have spent $11.
Well, hang
that
on
day.
though, hang on. If we were at someone's house and we were able to like constantly have fresh off the grill hot dogs, that might make it a little easier.
I'll tell you, the biggest problem we had last year when
Just
we did
a
it.
roaring fire in his
living room.
At some point,
roasting weenies.
we stopped just eating the hot dogs by themselves and started putting like chips and other stuff on it to get the texture better. So we were adding more calories.
Yeah, but you had to. I mean, you had
choice. We had
It
no
was-
choice.
yeah, it was-
And
the
Carolyn
only way.
Waka had just sent all those chips from Canada.
Oh, and that's what we used.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of that.
Yeah, you know what? The more you remind me of the different little details of the day, the more I feel like, no, I don't ever want to do that
ever.
again.
Remember what you did to that water bottle, Richard?
Yeah. Yeah, gosh, I do. Yeah, I didn't want to walk all the way to the bathroom.
Our boss walked in.
It's like, is that pee? No, it's lemonade in an Aquafina bottle.
But that was unparalleled success on YouTube, guys.
So I think it's paralleled. I don't think it like it set any records.
Yeah, honestly, I'm pretty sure like WAP,
Yeah.
the music video got more views. And rightfully so, by the way.
I have watched WAP more often than the 999.
Coming up next, sometimes you got to strike when the iron's the hottest. That's what one NFL team did. So we're going to get into that storyline. And we're not talking about the NFL draft, by the way. But before we do that, TD, how did you get to work today again?
Oh, how else would I get to work? You think I walked? I mean, you're out of your mind.
No chance.
Nah, my GMC took me here, man. And look, actually, my neighbor came over and was talking to me the other day about North County Cadillac GMC and saying, hey, you talk a lot about it. I mean, you really believe that that's the greatest dealership? And I said, yeah, no, I'm not kidding. The dealership experience is so fantastic at North County Cadillac GMC. I don't know why you'd go anywhere else. I mean, if you are just starting to think about, I need a new vehicle, start at North County Cadillac GMC. They make it easy. They make it smooth, and you're going to get a great deal. Stop by there. See the GM, Jamie. He's a fantastic individual. He's my buddy there. Tell him TD sent you. And he's got exceptional savings on new Cadillac and GMC models. The Sierra 1500, fantastic truck. The Yukon, absolutely beautiful SUV. The Cadillac Lyriq, you're looking for something that's high-end, electric. It's going to get you where you need to go, and you're going to feel good getting there. Go check that thing out. They can also help you get a great deal on pre-owned vehicles. But, man, story after story about how great North County Cadillac GMC is, like this one right here. I can honestly say North County Cadillac GMC was one of the best dealer experiences I've had. Everyone I dealt with was amazing, from Jay, the sales manager, to the salesman, Paul, to the finance person, David. Everyone made sure I was happy and ready to move forward, and I understood the next steps. That's from Pete. Look, they were also voted San Diego's best domestic auto dealer in the San Diego Union Tribune Readers Poll. Experience the difference yourself. Stop by North County Cadillac GMC in the heart of the Escondido Auto Mall today. North County Cadillac GMC, exceeding your expectations every time. Keep up with San Diego Sports 760 anytime, anywhere. Whether you're stepping out of the car or settling in at home, just ask your Google or Alexa smart speaker to play AM 760 or stream it live through the iHeartRadio app. It's never been easier to stay connected with your favorite shows like this one. San Diego Sports 760 goes where you go. Ow!
Little funky groove here on a Thursday draft day in the NFL. Coming up, we'll get back to the Padres. They're good again. They are good again. Also, morning monologues. Also, we're giving away Luke Bryan tickets, so stick around for those. But we have a strike while the iron's hot situation in Chicago. I'm not talking about Caleb Williams. I'm not talking about the first overall pick. I'm talking about the new domed stadium, that the team has pitched as part of a whole lakefront renovation that will include a $1.2 billion infrastructure, hotel, housing, stuff like that, green spaces for the city. But then it'll have the stadium on the lakefront. It looks beautiful. The concept's beautiful, but it is going to cost a grand total of $5 billion to build.
Right.
So that's a lot of cheese.
Yeah, no doubt. If the renderings came true, it would be one of the most insane, probably the most insane stadium and complexes in America. I mean, not just in the NFL. The thing is insane.
What we learned with SoFi Stadium, which had an original budget of $2 billion, it ended up costing well over $6 billion. Like, if the starting number is 5, does that make you a little nervous?
Doesn't make me nervous because it ain't my money. But the Bears are saying, what's it, 5.6 billion? We'll pony up 1.8, and then just the taxpayers have to come up with the other $3.5 billion.
That sounds familiar.
The proposal calls for $2.025 billion from the Bears. $300 million from an NFL loan, and $900 million from bonds from the Illinois Sports Facilities Authority. The funding from the ISFA would involve extending bonds extending bonds of the existing 2% hotel tax. So what this is going to be, and by the way, they're talking about like a publicly owned hotel, which is such a bizarre sentence because will anybody in the city of Chicago ever see a dime from owning this hotel?
Right.
The answer is absolutely not.
Right.
Which
Right.
this means the city or the state of Illinois owns the hotel, and this is going to refill tax coffers, which many people complain the government's not doing enough with the tax money to begin with. So I don't know how good of a pitch all this is. Look, this happens every time a city or a team wants a new stadium. They talk about, and again, it's all political. These team owners or presidents, in this case, the Bears team president, saying things like, this isn't going to be easy, but Chicago never likes to do it the easy way. He's not necessarily talking about the people in Chicago or Bears fans. He's talking about the city government, who everybody wants to get their beak wet before any sort of proposals get passed. And if they don't, then it's not going to happen. It's greed, self-interest. It's also obviously a situation where you're stretching dollars that may not even be there to get a proposal like this passed. But again, renderings are fun. And if you look at this rendering, it is one of the most gorgeous stadium ideas you've ever seen.
Yeah, the thing where they screw this up though is at the dome.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
I know what they're doing. They're going to be Super Bowls here.
They want a Super Bowl.
Right. So, but no.
Also,
it's supposed to snow there in Chicago.
Soldier Field is another one of those places I actually failed to mention when I went to Soldier Field and played against the Bears for the first time in my NFL career. It was another one of those kind of pinch me moments where I was like, hey, look where I am.
Mhm.
Like Soldier Field. Like this is one of those spots in the NFL where you're like, man, this is part of, I don't know, Americana tradition. Has it been there for how long has Soldier Field been there?
1924.
100 years.
100 years. Unbelievable. Well, it's iconic. So you watch any of these old NFL films and they're at Lambeau Field or Soldier Field. I mean, this is where the history happens. So it's hard to say that just goes away.
To quote the great Barney Stinson, new is always better.
Well,
I disagree with that, actually.
I like the idea. I agree with you. I wish it wasn't domed, or I wish, like, as part of some of the money spent, maybe they had a retractable roof.
Right.
I mean, maybe if you want to close for a Super Bowl, close it, but like give Bears fans what they want. And I think the majority of Bears fans would say, like, the weather is such a great asset for us here.
Right.
Right.
Also, no coincidence this is happening as they're about to get the first overall pick and what's considered a can't miss prospect. Like, the Bears fans should be at the highest they've ever been right now. So if there's a time to get this vote through,
It's the highest they've ever been.
If they're about to get their franchise quarterback for the next 15 years, that's being pitched to the fan base right now, then you would think that fan base might want to invest.
A Super Bowl shuffle was probably their peak.
Yeah. 85.
Yeah.
No, I mean, and honestly, the Bears have won that Super Bowl. Gosh, it must have been 2002 or 2003. No. It was
the
after
Bears
that.
won?
Yeah, the Bears won a Super Bowl. No, it was 2007.
They've only won one.
I don't remember this at all.
Or no, maybe they played in the Super Bowl. Did they play against the Colts and lose?
They played when what's his face was the linebacker, the scary guy,
Urlacher. Yeah,
they played in the Super Bowl. I don't think they won it.
Oh,
though.
no, I guess
They've
you're
only
right.
won one in franchise history.
Yeah, that was in 85. All right. Yeah. Okay, check this out. If you're looking for a world-class dentist where all procedures are done in the same office with state-of-the-art technology, then look no further than my dentist, Dr. Jordan Colby. You've heard me talk about him before. This is my family's dentist. If you're not even looking for a dentist right now, you got to go to oceanviewdental.net because you don't realize how much you need a great dentist until you have one. Even if you're one of those people who are like, nah, I'm all set. I see my dentist twice a year. Like, what's the difference? The difference is when all of a sudden something happens, like you need a cavity drilled, or you need a root canal done, or you need, some other extensive work done that maybe you've been putting off for a while. A lot of people getting their wisdom teeth out is something that they keep putting off until they finally do. And you're going to need somebody competent, and you're going to get the runaround from your dentist. I promise you, I went through this. When you go to Ocean View Dental, all of the work is done in Dr. Colby's office, and all of the work is done by Dr. Colby. Whether you go to his Oceanside clinic or you go to his clinic out in Fallbrook, you're going to receive the same amount of great care. Again, that website, oceanviewdental.net, oceanviewdental.net.
It's hour 2 on Big Rich, TD and Fletch. This update presented by the California Department of Public Health. We will start off with the Padres, who win yesterday in Colorado 5-2. Getaway day today for the Pods. They play at 12:10, looking to take 3 out of 4 from the Rockies. Coming up tomorrow, they're back home against the Phillies, and we got broadcasts out at the Naughty Barrel beginning at noon with the Darren Smith Show. John and Jim 3 to 6. Last night, NBA playoffs, Heat evened up their series with the Celtics with a surprising 111-101 win. That's a 1-1 series. Thunder go up 2-0 on the Pelicans with a dominant 124-92 win. Coming up tonight, Lakers-Nuggets Game 3. Lakers looking to avoid that dreaded playoff 3-0 hold. Listen to it right here on San Diego Sports 760 beginning at 7. Your lead up to that game won't be John and Jim. It's going to be the NFL Draft, which is coming up tonight starting at 5. You hear that here on 760 as well. What does it take to take on Alzheimer's? Well, it's courage to learn the facts and know the signs, and confidence to talk to your healthcare provider about screening and early detection. Find out how you can take on Alzheimer's at takeonalz.com.
Happy Thursday to those who celebrate. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch with you on this glorious morning. The Padres, they're great again. They did it.
So good now.
They are a game over 500, and it looks like they may never lose again.
Yeah, I was going to ask that question. I mean, what are the odds they do lose? Not good.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, if they do exactly what they did yesterday,
yeah,
which is pile up 5 runs in what was a 5-2 victory, if they do that the rest of the way, let's see how many games do they play. They're 14-13, so that means they play 27 games. So you subtract 149. So we're talking about 5 per game. I mean, we're staring down again a record in baseball in terms of runs scored during a season.
San Diego Padres.
Yeah.
God, it's unbelievable. It feels good.
Most games you'll win if you put up 5 runs. And so
most games you win if you just don't let the other team score more runs than you.
I love that. I love what you said there. And that's exactly what they did yesterday.
Yeah. That is the formula. And they figured it out. So,
but it is interesting. We were talking about this yesterday. When they're over 500, it feels so completely different than when they're an even record or they dip under that 500 mark for obvious reasons. But the most important is because this season started with, I don't want to say much less expectations than last year, because it still feels like the window for winning is open for the Padres. But there are less expectations on this team this year than last year. And there's certain fans who say, nope, no excuses. I expect to see, just like Peter Seidler told us before he passed, I expect to see the World Series come to San Diego in the 20s. That's what he said. That's what he told us, and that's what I believe. And then there are certain fans who I think probably exist in a reality more close to what is actually going to happen, which is this team, the aim is for them to be competitive, if not super competitive within the division or within the league. And if they can steal a championship at some point during this open window that they've created for themselves, well, great, because that's always the hope for the fan base. And from an ownership standpoint, that does feel like the aim now. When Peter Seidler here, limitless potential. Now that he's gone, and it does feel like the regime has changed some, I would say you're going to see competitive baseball through the 2020s.
Well, and without Peter Seidler here, all of a sudden where we felt like we had an identity, now you're trying to figure out what is our identity now.
Correct.
As a Padre fan, as the Padre team. And we joke about the Padres and winning, but look, good. They should be winning those games. And that's just it. If the Padres win the games they're supposed to win, man, this is going to be a much easier season.
And beating the Rockies is a good place to start. They're a bad baseball team with 7 wins on the season. You need to take 3 out of 4 from them. They have the opportunity to do just that today. Rich, I do think I fall in line with what you were saying in the latter, where it feels like the only way the Padres are going to get a World Series in this window before these contracts look awful, which is coming, by the way, Padres fans, they're going to have to steal one. And they're going to have to steal one because there's a lot of teams in Major League Baseball that are stacked and very good, and they're at the top of one of them in your own division. So when you look around baseball, it feels like the Padres have to steal one. And if that's your mindset going in, you have to be pretty stoked with where the team is right now, because this has gone a lot better with this cast of characters than I thought it could have gone. And if you would have told me they would have had to absorb a Yu Darvish injury in the middle of all this, I'd have told you there's no way that they're a game above 500 right now, especially given the schedule they've played, where this is really the first series where on paper you're like, oh, the Padres should definitely win this one.
Yeah, but they're absorbing that injury early. I know what you're saying. I get it. It's just, God, I mean, if you were thinking, okay, there's going to be one injury, I mean, that's the way it goes here. Let it be early, man. Let it be early.
Yeah. Well, and the truth is you don't hope for injuries like you,
right.
But if you're going to have to suffer one or struggle through one, how about during a window where the majority of your series during this span you've won? I mean, go back to the Dodgers series, the road series that followed. The Padres put together 3 winning series out of the last 4 they've played in, and they could win this one too.
And they've had some gems from guys who you weren't expecting gems from. Michael King almost had a freaking no-hitter just a week ago, and Matt Waldron yesterday was fantastic. He was nearly unhittable the way that knuckleball was moving yesterday, and it's cool when you see a knuckleballer get in their zone, because all of a sudden the baseball does things it's not supposed to do.
Speaking of which, I put this up on the rundown under the 7 o'clock, Fletch. The very first pitch of the game, Matt Waldron let hurl a knuckleball with enough run that Kyle Higashioka, the catcher behind home plate, could not keep up with the dancing, right? The dancing knuckleball. And so the home plate umpire paid the price. Here's what that sounded.
He says, yeah, that's a strike.
Yeah.
As he's like doubled over.
Yeah, it's a strike.
Guy in the nuts.
So if you watch this video, I mean, Higgy had no chance at it. I mean, this thing, it had such a late break to the glove side. I mean, he just had no chance at it.
Well, the dirty secret about knuckleballers, the pitchers don't know what these balls are going to do.
No.
So the catchers have no chance of knowing what they're going to do.
You're throwing a ball without any spin that is covered in laces. It can end up anywhere in or outside the strike zone. This one, where both the umpire and Higgy's glove was set up, it was within the strike zone, and it's 1 pitch, 2 balls, as it turns out. So there you have it. It's rare. It's rare to see in baseball.
Yeah.
And I promise you it's going to happen this year where Matt Waldron has a game where his knuckleball is not doing anything, and it's just served up, and you're about to see a lot of home runs in that game. It's going to happen. But yesterday, it was special how much that thing was moving.
Did you guys see Bill Miller, the ump there? How beautiful his neck is?
Dude, yeah, that's he's a thick neck boy.
God, is that my dad?
Yeah, I'll tell you right now. Honestly, when he pulled off the umpire back, I'm like, is that you?
And you know he was really in pain because his face, which is kind of shoved into that mask to begin with, he's not the lightest man in the world, but his face is shoved in there, and then he pulls it off, and the white lines of the mask go away real quick, and it's just red.
Yeah,
because he's in pain.
When I Google Bill Miller, there's just tons of photographs of him getting hurt,
just rolling around on the ground.
Like takes one off his knee, takes one off his head.
He's just clutching his stomach in one of these pictures.
Being a Major League Baseball ump feels like the worst job.
Do you think it's worse than being like a little league ump though? Like when you're 14 getting yelled at by parents?
Just baseball, period. Yeah. Baseball umps have a terrible job because it's a hard job. First of all, most of them are bad at it. Second of all, nobody's happy with you on either side. Both coaches, every fan in the stand are all booing you the entire time, and you get hit in the nuts.
Okay, how about this? Red pill, blue pill, because you could say the same thing about being an umpire, or excuse me, an official or referee in any sport. Red pill, blue pill, but we'll give a third option. So maybe green pill. I don't know. But would you rather be an umpire in baseball, an official on an NFL field, or a referee in a basketball game at the NBA level?
I think NFL makes the most money.
Yeah, but I don't want to get hit.
Yeah, oh God.
Yeah,
I didn't even think of
NFL
that.
refs get messed up too, especially if you draw that like right behind the quarterback or right behind the linebacker position.
Ooh, yeah, that's not good.
I think I'd go NBA on this.
NBA.
I think I go
NBA.
NBA.
You have to run the most.
Yeah, I think I'm going with baseball just because of that factor.
You know what?
You're
I didn't think
stationary
about
in
that.
baseball.
What was that? The red pill?
Yeah, I
I'll
guess
go red pill.
Yeah.
I would
I'll go
also
red pill.
in baseball, I would want to be the ump that's like just by first base.
I also
Yeah.
I want to get into an argument with a manager.
Oh, I
Get
want to
right in the
kick
face.
some dust.
Yeah,
Kick some dirt up.
The gum chewing from the manager be like right next to you, and you just, you son of a.
I just want to hear what they actually say, because I think a lot of times, like, it looks like they're cussing each other out, and meanwhile it's like, listen, I got to come out here and say something to you, because that was just, you know what, exactly what that was. It wasn't great, but it was a close call. My hitter's upset about it, and so I'm gonna pretend like I'm really giving you a piece of my mind
Can
right
we
now.
speed this up? Because I got Meatloaf waiting for me at home, you mother.
Yeah. Could you call some more strikes, because we're tired of being here right now. Yeah, the morning monologue, we do it every day just to give you a little piece of our mind. Who wants to go first? Fletch, you got something
Yeah, I'll
for
get
us?
it out of the way quick. Not super important. Actually, it's very important. I would not be here today. I would not be alive, literally, had this man not been born, I don't know, 64, I think, years ago today. Happy birthday, Steve. Keith. Jerry
Wow.
Keith.
Wow.
My pops. Great dude. Awesome dad. You wonder where I get this confidence from that I don't deserve? Well, he's ashamed of it every day. Thanks,
Yeah.
Keith.
Good. There
Good.
it is.
It's working.
Fletch, Mr. Fletcher, birthing. Actually, he didn't do anything. Angela did all the work,
That's true.
but he lent some of the ingredients. No question about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Well, half of them.
Yeah. Yeah. Look at him.
I'll see you tomorrow, Pops.
Look what he made. Yeah. That's a hell of a cookie recipe over there.
I'll jump in
A
here.
couple of nuts in that chocolate
Yeah.
chip.
Hey, come on.
Rocky Road.
Just saying. Yeah.
It's fine if you're doing it to Steve, but you were talking about my mom also. there.
Whoa, whoa,
Whoa,
whoa.
whoa.
Angela Fletcher is a saint. I would
Yeah.
never say anything bad.
Ever.
Ever.
Yeah, that's crazy.
No.
Crazy.
Got to
talk.
mix the batter.
I was at the AT&T store, right?
Yeah.
I'm checking out the new devices that are there. One of them very popular. New technology. I guess it's new. I don't
Okay.
know.
Yeah.
The folding Samsung phone.
Oh, with the big screen.
Yeah, it's got a
Those
screen.
look cool, but wildly inconvenient.
Well, okay. Were people clamoring for a phone that folds in half? Were people asking for this? Because I could see an argument for it. I could see people going, yeah, I need my phone to fold in half. But as I picked up the phone and messed around with it, I thought they got this all wrong.
Okay.
Because if people are asking for a folding phone, it's clearly because they want to like hang up, like pissed off in haste, where you slap that thing closed. You remember the good old days when you had your Razor phone
Love
and you
the
were
Razor.
telling somebody, you know what, I'm done. It's over. I don't care. Bang, you close that thing shut. It snaps closed and that conversation's over.
Over.
With the Samsung phone, it closes very slowly and softly. You can't slam that thing shut. So there's no way that people were asking for this folding phone unless they wanted to hang up in haste. Dumb move, Samsung. That's why I own Apple. Unless Samsung wants me to talk about it and they want to pay me, then I love Samsung.
You know, it is true. What's old is becoming new again. Like, people are getting into like grunge again, the Nirvana scene, Green Day, Pearl Jam. Like, kids are wearing wide leg jeans all of a
Right.
sudden again.
Right? Is the
20
wallet chain?
somethings, we're watching RoboCop for the first time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
I
That is
picture,
true.
I picture it like you're going to see the actual rotary phone make a return at some point. It's gonna be wireless. It's gonna be in your house, but you're gonna be carrying it around, like
Oh,
talking on the
man.
phone, like, no, I told you. No, I told you this yesterday. Absolutely no more glitter. Slam. Like, yeah.
Did you have the rotary phone that had like the 12-foot cable so you could like take the phone and walk around the corner?
The rotary phone at my grandmother's house was the only rotary phone. We had a normal like touch tone dial phone,
Mhm.
but the rotary phone at my grandma's house, yes, long cord.
Mhm.
It was in the basement. And that was a mistake because kids often got shuttled down to the basement to play amongst ourselves because we were annoying the adults. And so that's what I learned how to prank call people on.
Nice.
Just
Star 67, baby.
Yeah. Right.
And
Right.
so we would call pizza shops and we would call just random numbers. It was awesome.
Fletch, were you old enough to have a rotary
I
phone?
was just trying to think. We never had like a mounted phone on the wall, but we definitely had a cord home phone. And I was just trying to remember the
Was it
phone number.
buttons or was it a
No, it was buttons.
So-
and then we had wireless for
the rotary
Always.
phone was actually a dial, you know,
Right.
that you put your finger
yeah.
in, and that is where the term dial tone is
yeah.
from.
Yeah.
So when you heard the tone, you could use the dial.
Do you guys remember your childhood house phone number?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I've lost mine.
No, my gosh.
Was 516-794-5397.
909-845-2522.
You forgot yours?
Wow.
It's 722.
It's gone. It's gone.
I want to say 3034, but I could be
He's
very wrong.
Wow.
He's replaced that with Jessica Simpson lyrics.
It's definitely 209-722-3034. My name is Ben
You know
Fletcher. My parents are Angela and Keith Fletcher. Can you please call them at 209-722-3034? That was it. Boom.
Wait. You were given a speech you had to remember?
I got lost a lot.
My name is Ben Fletcher. I'm with the local Boy Scouts. Would you like to buy a chocolate bar?
How many times did you get lost as a child?
I was a wandering soul.
My name is Ben Fletcher. My parents' names are Keith and Angela Fletcher. Can you call them, please? That's incredible.
Your kidnap speech.
Yeah. All right. For my
Wow.
morning monologue, it's all quiet on the Western Front right now, but I can promise you we are going to start seeing and hearing fireworks soon. The NFL draft is, legitimately less than 12 hours away. There hasn't been a single trade announced. There's going to be a flurry of activity. Now, I don't know if it's going to be this hour or next hour. I don't know if it's going to be even before a team is on the clock. But I promise you, not all these teams are going to just draft at their position through the first round, and that's going to be that. It's not going to be that tidy. There is going to be a team or teams that need a quarterback that are going to trade into the top 5. There is no question in my mind.
Burrito bet.
Wait,
Burrito bet?
Okay.
Will there be a trade before the draft? Yes or no?
Oh, I'm going to say yes.
Before the draft.
Hands down.
That impacts the first round of the draft.
Hands down.
Before the draft starts. Before the Chicago Bears are on the
Yes.
clock.
Yes.
I'll get in on that. I agree. Yes, definitely.
Okay, I'm either buying 3 burritos or I'm getting one for free. So I'm going to go no.
You're going to get 2 burritos.
You're going to get
for
2
free.
burritos.
Yeah.
Right.
And you have to eat them end to end. I want you to eat 24 inches of burrito.
Oh my God. The burrito place by my house. We just found this out. I don't know how. They have, it's called a Grande California. And it is 3 different tortillas.
Oh, dude. Wait, I've been there before. Is it in the
Burrito Santana in the little mall by McGregor's in the little strip mall.
Yep.
Awesome spot. I would go there all the time. But they have this thing called a Grande burrito that's about this big. Like, I'm not exaggerating.
Now, Fletch holding his hands up with, literally 2 feet apart.
Yeah, and it's awesome.
Wow.
Okay.
Do you eat it like from the middle, like how you're
No,
holding it?
I mean, Kendall and I have been splitting it in half, but it's essentially like 2 burritos.
Right.
Just all
Which
the
is
way.
what you'll get if you're correct on
Okay.
this, and you
But
have
it's
to eat
only
it
like
in
12
one
bucks.
sitting.
It's incredible.
Can we call that burrito the girth master?
We
Yeah.
can.
Well, but can we call you that if you eat the burrito?
I can't eat it by myself, not in one sitting.
We'll save the second half for a rainy day.
Yeah.
Maybe
It's raining right now, apparently in North County.
have Thanksgiving in May. Just like the Dale household.
She's put it away for 6 months.
Yeah. I don't
No
know.
big deal.
I don't think I'm ready to have the second half of the girth master. Just not yet.
It's not called.
No. That's the name of an individual who's making $80,000 a month apparently on OnlyFans.
Really?
So yeah, that's what he calls him. I don't even know his real name. I don't know what the article's at, but guys are on OnlyFans.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Dude,
yeah.
Guys
yeah.
make bank on OnlyFans.
Because you got to
They-
remember,
They do.
Look up top earners. I promise you, Tyga, the rapper, is on that list.
oh,
Top-
there's no doubt.
Wait, do I just top OnlyFan
TYGA.
earners or top male OnlyFan earners?
I think it's just top OnlyFans.
I am
Okay,
I've
top.
never been more nervous about a search in my life.
This is not going to be.
Do
good.
not click images.
Yeah. Okay,
For
hold
the
on.
love of God.
As of August 2022, the highest earning OnlyFans accounts were musicians, Bad Barbie and Cardi B.
That's shocking. That is shocking.
They've earned $60 million on OnlyFans.
We need to get on
What is
OnlyFans.
going on?
Tyga brought in $20 million from OnlyFans before deactivating his profile to start his own competing platform.
What's it called?
Only Tiger.
My Star.
That's a dumb name. That's a dumb name.
MYYSTAR.
Iggy Azalea is earning $10 million a month.
What in the world? DJ Khaled made $4 million on OnlyFans?
Wait, what is Iggy
Another
doing
one.
again? What is she still singing?
What? Iggy? Iggy
Yeah.
is? I don't know. I don't know.
I think she's just OnlyFans now.
At $10 million a month,
She makes a
Like
lot of
I would,
money.
I mean, you do it
Whoa.
like for a month and then just be done.
I will say this. I might subscribe. Good Lord.
Man, oh
Iggy
man.
Azalea has been very busy since she's kind of disappeared from the zeitgeist, as they like to
She
say.
was in the Fast and Furious movie and then disappeared, and then all of a sudden popped back up on OnlyFans.
Even in the Fast and Furious movie, I feel like you disappear. Fast and Furious
Fast and Furious,
12.
It's awesome.
Did
Did anybody watch this?
Big
I watched
fan.
all of them.
Big
I think
fan.
she was actually in like 7.
Biggie. All right, listen. We
I
go
just,
from
I just don't understand if there's that much money being spent on OnlyFans.
yes.
Like if OnlyFans didn't exist, would money be spent on? I don't know.
Radio.
yeah, like how do people afford eggs
Right.
anymore? Like
Yeah,
I mean,
that's what I'm
I'm
saying.
just so busy with all my subscriptions on OnlyFans.
Getting
I-
milked out here.
I got DJ Khaled, Iggy Azalea,
I
Tyga.
I saw
Tyga.
something the other day.
More on my start now, but
I guess the IRS is having a field day with some of these OnlyFans models who didn't know what they were doing with the money. And like they were
yeah.
getting hundreds of thousands of dollars, sometimes monthly, and then they weren't paying taxes on any of it.
Well, listen,
I mean, rapper Casanova earning $1 million a month from the content he posts from a free subscription. Who the hell is rapper Casanova?
Yeah.
Like DJ
One of the
Khaled's
best.
making money on OnlyFans. Is he posting himself naked? Because nobody wants to see that.
We are doing
that
this all
would not be
wrong.
true.
Another one. Major key.
God.
Another nudie.
Uh,
Who knows? Who knows? I mean, all I know is we need to, I guess, do a little research and get ourselves on OnlyFans.
We already got the name.
yeah. Iggy
Yeah, we do.
Azalea, 9.2 million per month. She charges $21 a month for a subscription.
Oh, jeez, wow.
You $21 a month, and you're bringing in almost $10 million.
Doing okay?
Do the division. I'll do it.
You got to turn your phone sideways. It's going to be long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is
Long
it?
division.
10 million?
9.2 million
We'll just do 10.
divided by $21.
Jeez. Well, plus
She's got 476,000 subscribers.
yeah. Well, 476 and one because I'm brand new to OnlyFans and Iggy is my gal.
That's your first subscription. Not Billie Eilish?
No. Well, yeah, we'll get into that later on. Holy smokes. Boy, yeah.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah.
people are solo artists.
That is true.
There's
That
no
is true.
question
It's
about that.
a tough segue here.
No.
Tough segue.
Listen, this is an easy segue. And by the way, we're going to get into the historic performance in the NBA playoffs last night. But before we do, look, everybody's got a little spare cash. I mean, clearly, if 476,000 people are subscribed to Iggy Azalea on OnlyFans, you could spare $150 for the San Diego Giving Back raffle. There's no question about that. And by the way, you'd be supporting an awesome community resource in the meantime, supporting our local Ronald McDonald House. If you do this, if you sign up, right, $150, you could win one of thousands of prizes. But how about a multi-million-dollar home right across the street from Balboa Park right here in San Diego? How about that? How about one of 2,000 great prizes, one of 20 vacation packages, one of 20 vehicle options and 20 days of $20,000 prizes, including and leading up to the biggest prizes given away on July 25th. All you got to do is go to San Diego Giving Back Raffle and buy your ticket for $150. That's it. And then you are entered to win one of any of those, many of those great prizes. The San Diego Ronald McDonald House has helped keep families close to their hospitalized children for years now. It's located 300 steps away from the local children's hospital here in San Diego. They provide overnight lodging for families in need, warm meals, other programs and services. Oftentimes we forget, right? You go through your life and your kids are healthy and work is going smoothly, but trauma, tragedy can strike at any moment. And when that happens, sometimes you're uprooted from your normal daily schedule and you just have to do what's best for your family, which is get your kid the care they need immediately. And for some of those people, they don't live near a great children's hospital. They're coming from parts north or from out of state. And all of a sudden they're here in San Diego at our children's hospital and they've got to stay somewhere. Maybe they don't have the cash to spend on a hotel room. Maybe they can't miss work, so they need a place to stay. That's where the Ronald McDonald House steps in and helps out these people. Again, this is the 20th anniversary of the San Diego Giving Back Raffle. literally millions have been raised for the work they do at the Ronald McDonald House, but they need further support. They need your help, and you can win huge prizes. It's a true win-win. It's the San Diego Giving Back Raffle. It's the San Diego Giving Back Raffle.
Stay connected with San Diego Sports 760 no matter where you are, whether you're stepping out of your car or settling in at home. Just command your Google or Alexa smart speaker to play AM 760 or use the free iHeart app for seamless listening. It's like having your favorite station right in your pocket. Ow!
This update is presented by AutoZone. Get in the zone. We will begin with the Padres, who win yesterday in Colorado 5-2. Getaway day today for the Pods. 12-10 first pitch, looking at taking 3 out of 4 from the Rockies. Last night in the NBA playoffs, the Heat even up their series. It's now 1-1 with the Boston Celtics. It was a 111-101 win for the Heat. Thunder go up 2-0 on the Pelicans with a dominant 124-92 win coming up tonight. Lakers looking to avoid that 3-0 hole against the Nuggets. You can listen right here on 760 beginning at 7. Before that, NFL draft starts at 5 right here on 760. Starting Stronger starts at AutoZone, where they've got battery solutions in the form of free battery testing, free battery charging, and replacement batteries that fit your needs. That's what makes them America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Yes. We're doing it again, buddy.
We are doing it again. We have giveaways. Fletch just put out on the Big Rich TD and Fletch Twitter account that if you want to win Luke Bryan tickets, I didn't actually look up the tweet. Then you have to listen to our interview with Kevin Acey here coming up in
8:05.
30 minutes.
I like that. I like that a lot.
I'm
And if
getting ready
you're
to read
listening
another
on
one of
the
those.
free iHeart Radio app, you could stream us, take us wherever you go. Also, you could hit us up on the Talkback feature, which is increasingly our favorite way to interact with people who listen to this show.
Yeah.
The Talkback feature, you click the microphone button, it's next to the play button on the iHeart Radio app. You can leave us a message anytime, day or night.
Right.
Like, you could wake up in the middle of the night and be like, oh my God, there was something I really needed to tell Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. You can just go ahead and click the microphone button and whisper to us next to your wife in bed or husband. It doesn't matter. Anytime, day or night, we get them. We get them all day long.
It's essentially our answering machine.
Yeah, it is. And you can leave a voicemail. If you do it during the show, oftentimes, and we have before, we were doing this all day yesterday, we can play your talkbacks if you want to leave us a message. So it gives you about 30 seconds. It's super easy, and you have to have the free iHeartRadio app in order to do it. So just to peel back the curtain, let people inside show prep over here. I keep looking over at TD's computer, and I think he's gone down the OnlyFans rabbit hole.
No, this is still the same article.
Oh,
How much
okay,
money
okay.
you spent this morning?
What, several $1,000s. Look, you have to support people with their craft.
These are artists, Fletch.
This is still the same top 17 earners article, which every time I open up a new tab and then I close it, that's the one that pops up.
I love it.
Mhm.
I love it.
Thank God.
Really good. Highly distracting. Very, very good. So right now, CBS Sports just put out a mock draft. I believe this is their most recent. Caleb Williams, pick number 1, round number 1. Jaden Daniels to the Washington Commanders, round number 1, pick number 2. Drake May to the New England Patriots, round 1, pick 3. Then Marvin Harrison Jr. goes to the Arizona Cardinals at 4. And then it starts getting interesting. The Minnesota Vikings trade up to number 5 overall to select J.J. McCarthy.
Wow.
So J.J. McCarthy in the top 5 has gathered so much steam that now, like, whereas before, when he won the national championship game with the Michigan Wolverines, I was saying it, back then, like, oh, almost like tongue in cheek. Well, he's going to be a first rounder. Because quarterbacks, the steam just gets more and more intense as the closer we get to the NFL draft. Well, sure enough, I mean, not only will he be a first rounder if this comes, he's going to be in the top 5 if the Minnesota Vikings trade up to get him.
Which, prior to Jim Harbaugh talking about how great J.J. McCarthy is, was he? I mean, he was a first rounder, I think, at that point. He was still considered that, but not a top 10.
I don't think a lot of people would have put a first round grade on J.J. McCarthy back then. I think a lot of people would have said he could be a second day pick, whether it's second rounder or third rounder, because I don't think a lot of people had, look, in that offense, his usage was so limited. Blake Corum ran that offense and Edwards after him. Like that's a running offensive football team that supplanted their rushing game with some passing. But J.J. McCarthy is a proven winner. He's a guy who, when you needed to lean on him, and they did in that semifinal game against Alabama, that truly was a J.J. McCarthy experience. he can win for you. So I think, like I said, is exactly what happened leading up to the draft. Like these 4 months between the end of the football season and then the actual date of the draft, quarterbacks, if there's one stock that can be on a huge rise because of how important and impactful a quarterback could be in your system, it's going to be the quarterback position. That's what's happened with McCarthy.
Did CBS, they had the Vikings trading up to 5?
Yeah, Vikings. Sorry if I didn't say it.
I think you did. But Peter Schrager had the Vikings moving up to 7, trading with the Tennessee Titans to also take J.J. McCarthy. And in that case, the Chargers and the Giants would not move off their 5-6 pick, which the Giants could go wide receiver. They could go a lot of ways. He has the Chargers going offensive tackle with that 5th overall pick, which, Rich, like you were talking about earlier, is taking a tackle that early, disappointing your fan base.
Yes, always. If
even if it's the right move,
and trust me, look, it goes this way. Quarterback, obviously, the most important, impactful position on a football field. Right after that, you could argue edge rusher because let's be honest, if the quarterback's the most important, then the most likely to impact a quarterback's play is the second most important. But then right after that, who stops edge rushers? Offensive tackles.
Right. And I think another wrinkle that's gotten thrown into this draft all of a sudden is wide receivers. So a lot of talk has been made about wide receivers potentially moving before the draft. A lot of people think that maybe one of them will be involved in a trade for a team moving up or a team moving down. But think about what happened with Amon-Ra St. Brown yesterday. We haven't really mentioned it yet, but he becomes the highest paid wide receiver in the NFL. I think he's well over $25 million a year, right? 4-year, $111 million contract. But that then makes it a lot harder for teams to trade for, say, a Brandon Ayuk or a Justin Jefferson, understanding what you're going to have to pay them on the other side of that. Because like with Brandon Ayuk, he has 1 more year of team control, and then he needs a contract. Or if you trade for him, it might be a trade and sign situation, and they're all going to be wanting that top dollar.
I think the Chargers trade out of 5th position. Like I'm willing to put some money on it.
I agree with you. I think that they are the most likely to trade down because they have Justin Herbert. And what they really need are positions where you could probably scoop up a player or players later in the first round where you can get great value. So, for example, in the CBS Sports mock draft that I'm looking at, as you scroll down, it has the Chargers taking a tackle, J.C. Latham, out of Alabama. That'll be their 11th pick because if they trade with the Vikings, they'd be down there. And then they select again because it would take more than just one pick for them to move off of the 5th overall selection. So they get the 23rd pick from the Vikings as well. And at least this mock draft has them taking a cornerback out of Clemson named Nate Wiggins, which again, what were the 2 biggest issues for the Chargers over the Brandon Staley years? Pass defense at many times, just their defense in general. Let's just say their defense, especially on 3rd down, against the run, but also sometimes against the pass. Look at that Miami Dolphins defensive effort. That was a struggle at the beginning of last season. Like there were plenty of games though like that. So corner makes sense. Offensive line though, you got to protect Justin Herbert better. He's been getting hurt way too often over the past 2 seasons, especially.
There has to be one trade that goes down that we all go, what?
Yes.
Right? There has to be one.
Like during the show today, maybe?
It's possible.
Yeah, maybe.
We might have to break into the Kevin interview in order to have some NFL news. I mean,
you think
maybe Kevin Acee will he'll break the news to us.
Maybe. I feel like we may have to kick the door into John and Jim. I think that's when it's going to go down.
It's funny because Kevin covered the NFL for many, many years, and he's talked about it before on this station, how he's like, he does not miss the draft time. Because all of a sudden everybody's emailing him from all over the place. And what are the Chargers going to do? Blah, blah, blah. And I think that this for a reporter is exhausting because you get like an Adam Schefter yesterday who kind of gets ambushed during a live interview when asked about, well, what's going on with the Vegas odds in J.J. McCarthy? Is he going to the Chargers now? And Schefter was like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. There's no chance he's going to the Chargers, but Vegas moved that line. Vegas isn't wrong very often because they're dealing with money.
Well, but you're talking about futures. Futures can be a little bit odd. So with futures, you have to move the amount of money that's being, or I should say the odds based on the amount of money that's being spent on those odds. So something can become popular and be bet way up the board. For example, start of the season last year, there were Heisman odds on Shedeur Sanders, the Colorado Buffaloes quarterback, And this was before they even played a single conference game in the Pac-12 because he had that amazing game against TCU. So everybody's like, well, he's going to win the Heisman. And so all of a sudden his odds were like number 1 in college football. Didn't mean that there's any chance that he was going to win the Heisman, but there was so much steam and smoke around, Shedeur Sanders that Vegas had to move his odds up. Like, that's just how it works. So I look at what's happening with JJ McCarthy very similarly. I don't think there is any chance he goes to the Chargers, like less than 0 chance. They already have their quarterback, unless, like you said, the crazy trade that could occur would be if like Justin Herbert is moved to a different team, but I do not see that happening.
No
There's
way.
no way.
No way. Yeah, I don't see that either.
What if Jim Harbaugh just hates him? Like,
No,
he's gotten
he-
to know
he
him over the
said he
last couple
didn't.
months. And is like, Justin Herbert, he's a
He brought
schlub.
him over to the RV. And he used up all the clean water, filled up the black tank.
Yeah.
Hate this guy.
Oh my gosh. All right. We got to get to this historic night in the NBA. But before we do that, how about the historic, like 3-month run TD went on about 4 months ago? Where
What?
he
Not
was,
just me.
well, no, I mean, specifically you. You look good.
Well, I mean, you know what? I feel good.
You
I
used
feel
to not
good.
be able to see the wall behind you.
That seems like a.
Now we can see most, if not all of it.
That's hurts a little. I mean, it's fine, I guess.
You are huge, super fat.
Yeah, and look, and losing
Used
20
to, TD,
Let's-
used to.
losing 20 to 30 pounds in 8 weeks' time will allow you to be able to see walls behind you. It will make you feel a lot better. I can guarantee you that, because I know I feel a lot better. I know that Rich and Fletch feel a lot better losing 30 pounds plus in 8 weeks' time. So look, if you're looking to lose some weight, you're looking to lose weight fast, look no further than stfatloss.com. Go there. It's a free consultation, so you got nothing to lose if you want to go there right now. They'll talk to Wayne and Chloe. They'll walk you through your weight loss goals. They'll figure out what works best for you, and they'll put together a plan to make sure you do lose 20 to 30 pounds in 8 weeks' time. I lost 31.
I just did it. I went to stfatloss.com.
You look at you.
Yeah.
Signing up again for another free consultation, because look, we love it. Okay. We love it. We love it because it works. So a lot of times you hear about these fad diets that people lose weight on. As soon as they stop the fad diet, they gain the weight back. That's not what stfatloss.com does. They show you how to lose it, and then they show you how to keep it off. That's the secret. And man, we're looking at pictures online
Look
here.
at this. Dr. Dan lost 35 pounds. Sue D, she lost 61 pounds. Her
Wow.
picture is up on stfatloss.com. Look at this dude. Holy cow. Dave, he went from a big portly pot roast to a dude that almost has abs after losing 47 pounds.
That's incredible. I mean, it's incredible. Amber D lost 37 pounds. That can be you too. You can have these same results. It works. And it works without exercise. It works without having to count points or calories or eat something you don't want to eat. Look, I've tried all that stuff. It hasn't worked. stfatloss.com works. I say it because it's real. Go there right now. And mention the show. Save $200 right now. stfatloss.com. stfatloss.com.
Big Rich, TDM Fletch, San Diego Sports 760, Luke Bryan tickets coming up. You got to listen to our 8:05 interview with Kevin Acee in order to win those Luke Bryan tickets. So if you want to see his August show, you got to be listening in just a little bit. For now, though, want to talk to you about a historic night in the NBA. 23 3-pointers made in the Heat Celtics game. So a lot of people looked at this series, me included, and said the Celtics are going to sweep the Heat. This is going to be a no contest. The Celtics are the best team in the East for certain. Maybe they're the best team in the NBA, but all of a sudden, wait, hold on, there's more. Miami just draining them from three.
And last week you did say, and now I know they weren't playing the Celtics, but you said, watch out for the Heat.
Yeah.
Watch out for the Heat. But the Celtics just seem like they're so good. And maybe this is a one-off. Maybe they only get one here, but
They did that with no Jimmy Butler.
that's
Like
the
no
thing.
playoff Jimmy. He has
Yeah.
that knee issue, and he was out yesterday. He's probably going to miss a couple more weeks if they continue. But without Jimmy Butler, they were able to do that. That's incredible.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it wasn't like they snuck by them. You know, they won.
Oh, yeah.
So
I mean, that's the most 3-pointers ever made in an NBA postseason game. I mean, they didn't sneak by him. They kicked in the front door and they were like, and here's more.
Right.
Like it was an amazing performance. Look, here's the reality of, I was going to say the NBA, but the truth is it's basketball. If you can shoot from the perimeter, you can beat any team on the planet. That's it.
Mhm.
I mean, Steph Curry is 6'3". He's a point guard. You would say, well, there's no chance he's going to have anything resembling a successful NBA career. But when you can shoot 3-pointers from the logo consistently, and when it's crunch time, like when you absolutely need to have a big shot and Steph can deliver, he can play. And anybody like that can play.
we saw that with J-Riff in the Hardwood and Balls Classic.
It's a good point.
Mhm.
Solid
What-
point.
well,
Really
just-
solid point.
Just let him shoot.
Well, last night in the NBA was a lot of fun. Tonight looks like it will be as well. We got the Lakers game on San Diego Sports 760 beginning at 7 o'clock right after the NFL draft, which starts at 5. You can listen to it all here on 760. But for tonight's Laker and Nuggets game 3, you got to think the Lakers have to have a big performance, right? So if you think that, why not go a little more then on LeBron James 25.5 points? Get on over to the Prize Picks app today and you can join in on the fun. Prize Picks, download the app, use promo code DOGS, as in roadies, dogs, hangers, bangers. DOGS is the promo code. You're going to get a first deposit match up to $100. That's code DOGS on Prize Picks for a first deposit match up to $100. Richie, what are you looking at for tonight?
Man, I'm all over the Prize Picks app. Last night I had some wins. I've literally been putting entries in 4 at a time. So I'm just going through my past entries and tallying this up, but it's so much fun. I mean, look, Prize Picks is one of those apps where once you open it, you can't really put down and then it's on your mind. I had an entry on the Heat. That game, that was a win. What else did I have? Yeah, I have so many of them. I actually can't keep track. And you
Just
can
so many wins.
you can cross over. Well, I mean, look, I have my losses too.
So
It's just
Rich-
going really well for me right now.
Rich plays his way, which is like 2 people at a time, which is lame. I mean, if you want to do it, you can. I go with the all-in mentality. I go 6 players at a time so I can make some serious money with Prize Picks, and I have. I've made over $1,500 since I downloaded the app.
The truth is, with some of these promotions that they have, the Taco Tuesdays, the Flex Fridays, which offers you some protections when you do place an entry. What happens is you can build an entry up to 6 players and you can win 100 times your money. So if you put in a $1 entry, you could walk away with a $100 win. If you put in a $10 entry, that could be $1,000 windfall for you. I mean, that buys you 52 filet mignons.
Super simple to play. You can make your picks, submit your entries in less than 60 seconds, and quick withdrawals is my favorite part about this app because I've done the other apps where it takes sometimes a week, 2 weeks to get your money out of the account. Not with Prize Picks. I win on a Sunday. I get my money on a Monday. Get on over to Prize Picks today. Use promo code DOGS for a first deposit match up to $100. That is promo code DOGS on Prize Picks for a first deposit match up to $100. Say it with me. Pick more.
Pick less. Prize
It's that
Picks.
easy. You suck. This update is presented by Anderson Plumbing, Heating and Air. Padres win yesterday in Colorado 5-2. Getaway day today. Padres play at 12:10, looking to take 3 out of 4 from the Rockies. Kevin Acee going to be joining us in about 5 minutes to talk about the series. Last night in the NBA playoffs, Heat evened up their series with the Celtics with a 111-101 win. That makes it a 1-1 series. Thunder go up 2-0 on the Pelicans with a dominant 124-92 win. Coming up tonight, Lakers host the Nuggets for Game 3, looking to avoid that 3-0 series hole. Listen to that game on San Diego Sports 760 starting at 7. Right before that, it's the NFL Draft at 5, also on 760. Attention San Diego, flash sale at Anderson Plumbing, Heating and Air. Book today and save 20% off any repair not good with any other offer. Replacements excluded. For more details, visit AndersonPHA.com.
Happy Thursday to those who celebrate. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch with you. And we are off to the races on a new draft day. The 2024 edition of the NFL Draft coming up in less than 12 hours. Coming up in less than 4 minutes.
Did you say nude draft day?
A new.
Oh,
Well, yeah, actually, that would be far more interesting.
Never mind.
nude draft.
Yeah,
All
like
right,
best
wait.
movie scenes.
Who's got the most hang
Wait.
time on the show? You're going to find out in just 15 minutes.
Well, we're gonna draft the best nude scenes.
In movies.
I like that idea.
Wow. Okay.
I really
All right.
actually
Maybe not
do.
on air. Maybe on TikTok.
Wait.
Do like that idea, though. Kevin Acee joining the show in less than 3 minutes now. He's going to talk to us about this most recent, I don't want to call it a streak, but if they win the game today and they take 3 games from the Rockies on this road trip, that means the Padres, yes.
Whoa.
That means the Padres, they will have won 4 of their last 5 series.
I don't know what just happened right now. Like somebody walked by the glass.
We just got excited, though.
Yeah. They pointed at a sweatshirt he was wearing, which I don't know what it was.
I don't either.
It looked like a Knicks sweatshirt.
I thought it was a cornhole. I thought that was a ACL, an American Cornhole League sweatshirt.
I would have recognized that one.
Okay.
Yeah, I would have recognized that
You're-
one. Yeah. So it looked like it was a Knicks sweatshirt. And then there were several signs that were thrown to us,
Mhm.
which we just waved.
I just gave him a thumbs up and I said yes.
Who was it?
It was one of the promotions,
yeah.
dude. He's got curly hair.
Jamie?
Mm-mm.
No.
No, not little Scott Stapp.
Yeah, well, we'll get around to
Yeah,
it.
we'll figure it out. But we may have to fight somebody here in the next break.
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't know. Knife fight.
Could be a knife fight.
Turns out this boot's pretty hard, so I can swing a kick.
Oh, that's a good idea.
You should
gnarly.
take it
You
off
know what
before
though?
Oh,
There, here he goes. There he goes again. He's
He didn't-
walking back
this
by.
time he did not make eye contact.
Didn't even look our way.
Mm-mm.
Wow.
Kevin Acee joining us. Yeah. So the Padres, I mean, it's not a streak because obviously losing to the Blue Jays in between the 3 winning series in a row and then the Rockies series. But it's the next closest thing. And they're a game over 500. And all of a sudden it feels like everything's right in the world. Matt Waldron pitched a gem.
Mhm.
I mean, things are looking up Padres all of a sudden.
Yeah. I was thinking if we had to have a knife fight, like, should we do a draft of like who would be in our gang?
I don't mind that.
As long as Papani's not on our team, we're good.
Are we drafting people in the studio here, or can we draft
want
Padre
LaDonna.
players? Oh my God.
LaDonna Harvey would be a sleeper first round pick that could wreck house in a knife fight.
But do you think that we could get her in the second round because people would look over LaDonna?
It's possible. I wouldn't.
No, I'm not. I mean, that would be the number one pick.
LaDonna Harvey from Kogo News, by the way.
Right.
Mild mannered news lady on air, feisty.
Right.
Feisty off air. Also, Gina the Latina would be a low key great pick.
Oh, that no kidding.
I would take her over Frankie.
What about Tati?
Oh, Tati from Jesse and Tati.
Like, I bet Tati has a knife on her right now.
There's no question about that, and it's a big one. Let's do this. Kevin Acee joining us, Padres insider, San Diego Sports 760, on the road in Colorado right now with the team getaway day. Padres have already taken 2 out of the 3 games against the Rockies, looking to grab the series here. Before we get into anything Padres related, we were talking about knife fights. How do you think you would fare in a knife fight, Kevin?
Who am I fighting? Like, I
Good
mean, is
question.
it someone older than me, maybe smaller than me.
Maybe someone from the LA Times.
yeah. Like that guy named Dylan.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We kind of Dylan Hernandez. I
How about
believe is
Sam
his name.
Farmer, Kevin Acey, Sam Farmer, 2 great heads of white hair.
Dylan is nasty. No. Dylan would find a way to get that done. No. Sam, I could take.
Kevin, do you think it would be?
He just said Sam I could take.
Do you think it would be scrappy, or do you think it would look like a choreographed dance?
Yeah, would it be like almost like the West Side Story?
Yeah.
I mean, you said it. It's like it's 2 old guys going, It
Cool.
would not be good.
Well,
What am I going to lie so that someone challenges me to a knife fight? No. I mean, why would you pick on me? I'm an old man.
Well, you're back in town tomorrow. We could probably set something up live at the Blind Burrow.
yeah. So if you're looking to get in a knife fight, please call. Otherwise, don't. No, I'm kidding. Kevin, so yesterday, the performance by Matt Waldron, the recent performances really outside of a 4th inning blow up by Michael King, the emergence of Dylan Cease as a Padre player after being parachuted in early in the season. This rotation has gone completely different than what I expected. I expected you, Darvish, and Joe Musgrove to be the stoppers who they've been historically for this team and before joining this team. But those are the guys who you're sort of like waiting to see if it's going to turn around for them. And obviously right now, Darvish injured. And it's the rest of the rotation that's really buoying this staff.
Yeah, you know what? I really, it's an interesting observation, and I think that maybe kind of like the underrated story of the season so far or the burgeoning story, like where, hey, this could be super important. Now, the one thing I'd say is Joe's had 2 pretty good starts in a row here and seems to have kind of starting to settle into the season. But you're right. Like, it was kind of like, oh man, if Darvish and Musgrove don't go well, then they added Cease. Okay, cool. Let's see what he does here, coming off of a, not a really very good season. Certainly not on its own the kind of season that you would make that trade for. But, okay, we see the potential. Okay. And then Michael King, well, maybe, but he's never been a full-time starter. And so here you are. And if you can get this occasionally from your number 5 starter and Matt Waldron, then, that is a pretty good rotation. So, and look, Cease and Waldron, their last 2, the last 2 quality starts by this team that were here in Denver. That's pretty good. So, yeah, I think that we'll see. Well, I'm still kind of there with this team. It's like I've said from the start, I think it's a very good team. But like last night, 4 runs in the first and then nothing. And the night before, finished the final 6, nothing.
Yeah.
And by the way, I'm passing by their team hotel and the bus is out front. So I'll stop right now in case I need to, rip them or something.
Oh, okay. So you're driving. We were trying to listen to what was happening in the background and decipher what was happening. It was either you were in like a bathtub and you were slowly splashing.
You know what I pictured? You remember in the Bugs Bunny commercials, like where every once in a while they would get on the train tracks with a
That's what I thought.
with a hand car, where it was like one side pumps up and then the other side pumps down. Like I'm like, he's for sure on a hand car.
He's
right
on
now.
the Silverton Narrow Gauge Railroad just outside of Denver, Colorado, traveling through the Rocky Mountains on a handcart.
Is there anybody there who it occurred to he's on his way to a ballpark in downtown?
No.
He's just walking through downtown.
Are you about to get arrested?
Yeah, what's happening, Kevin? We're worried about you.
That's an ambulance. But yeah, downtown Denver, I mean, it's almost like being in New York City now. Sirens just constantly.
It could get wild.
Yeah, it can get wild. Wild.
Oh wow, it's getting close here.
Yeah.
Wow.
It almost sounds like it could get feral.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And by the way, we know that those are synonyms because since the last time we spoke, we bought a thesaurus.
That's correct. Kevin, when you're looking at this Padre team right now, what are we, 27 games in now? Is there someone that is, there's one person here like, man, this is the standout guy right now?
Besides Dylan Cease, it has gone back and forth. Right now it's Jackson Merrill. I mean, now that's awesome. like, and that's, I mean, like, and this is kind of like the story of the team, kind of like, hey, this is great that this guy's doing well. But wait a minute, where's the star? Where's the guy who comes to the plate and you go, something's going to happen here. This is great. Where's that guy? Because this team needs that guy. It needs a couple of those guys, and it doesn't have them. So, like, I hate to keep turning it like to, I don't want to say it's like negative, but like just like realistic here. Like, awesome, Jackson Merrill. Awesome, Jurickson Profar. Awesome. But like, what's up, Manny Machado? What's up, Fernando Tatis Jr.? What's up, Xander Bogaerts? I mean, like, and again, we're 37 games in, but kind of waited all year last year too.
Yeah, well, see, that's exactly what I thought you were going to say, and so that's why I wanted to ask: does that concern you as we move forward?
Sure, absolutely, and that's where I'm at, and I think Mike Schilt hates it. Don't know if you've noticed, Mike Schilt very positive, very positive. I don't think people should get fooled that doesn't mean he's not addressing things in private, but publicly it's like, no, guys, I know we lost tonight, but I'd really rather talk about what we did well. Okay, well, that's not the reality that we're living in here. The reality is, like, some stuff needs to get better.
Boom, check. Mike Schilt. When you look at the couple guys that are missing some time right now, Manny Machado on paternity leave and Yu Darvish on the IL, when are we expecting both those guys back?
You next Tuesday can come off, and unless they're trying to line him up in some way, that would seem to be when Yu Darvish will come back, and Manny will be in the lineup Friday.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense because Friday is the start of the Phillies home series. He doesn't like to miss time. I think Major League Baseball, they only allow 3 days on paternity leave. Is that right?
Right. So the Padres will be down a guy today on the bench.
There it is. Okay. Yeah. Hey, so Kev, really quick, we have a ticket giveaway for Luke Bryan tickets. And we promised our listeners, if you listen to the Kevin Acee interview, you're going to walk away with a nugget that you need to win those tickets. Are you a country fan? Like, what is your all-time favorite country song or even recording artist, or, maybe even just a country concert you've been to?
Right.
Yeah.
In my jeans.
Yeah.
In your blue jeans.
Yeah.
In your
Wranglers.
in your work boots. And you drive up to the concert venue in your pickup truck with your old dog Shep.
You've never been to a country concert right now? Is that what you're saying? Never in your life.
Wait a second. If I were going to ask you to name, outside of Luke Bryan, one other country recording artist, this is going to tell us a lot about Kevin, because Kevin is dialed in on sports.
Yeah.
I mean, he's former Chargers columnist, obviously now on the beat with the Padres. This guy lives, breathes, bleeds sports. I mean, that's as long as I've known him. Can you name a country recording artist, Kevin Acee?
Well, I can, because there was a big thing in our family. My son's kind of big in the country, and so he was listening to this song, and it seemed like this song was all over the place. And I kept thinking that he was saying that this guy was named Morgan Wong, and I'm like, that's awesome. There's like a Chinese, there's a Chinese country artist, and he seems to be very big. But it's Morgan Wallen.
Morgan Wong.
Hang on. Morgan Wong is the phrase you need to call in with, though. Morgan Wong.
Kev, I'm going to see Morgan Wong in Vegas in August, actually. Kev, tonight's the NFL draft. You got any great draft stories from your times in the NFL covering the different teams you covered? You got any good draft stories?
Well, not the draft. The draft is like, whatever. I'm so glad when I see that, because now I'm watching, I was just watching, sitting, having breakfast and watching this coverage. I don't hear any of the sound, which is great. But I'm just going, oh my gosh, that's right, the draft. That was just such a big deal. No, what I did love is that whoever the first round draft pick for the Chargers was for like 10 years in a row, I would then go to his hometown and do this big story, talking with, going around with him, his parents or coaches or whoever it was who had been significant in his life. And I have a lot of great memories. It was a great way to get to know guys right at the start. And just had a lot of fun doing that. So that was always cool. And the cool thing about the NFL draft, as opposed to the Major League Baseball draft, is, I mean, that guy's coming in and he's going to be a big part of the team. And so that's that's why it's so cool. It's like, oh, okay. And that night, and then everyone's really excited and all that. Guy hasn't played it down, right? He might suck, but everyone's really excited. And then, but you do right away get to know those 4, 5, 6 guys that you are going to be a part of the team.
Kevin, before you take off here, you mentioned Mike Schilt addressing some of the issues here with the superstars, which made me wonder, like when you're getting salad dressing, like what do you go? It's like a ranch dressing, Thousand Island. Like what's your choice?
Great question.
Yeah,
Kevin, what's your answer?
I'm a little disappointed in myself that I am constantly shocked by the direction of questions on this program. Because I should know
Would
that
you be disappointed?
we're going to start with knife fight, and we're going to go to country music. We are going to then go to salad dressing, and probably a balsamic.
Very good.
balsamic.
Very good.
That was the only one out of left
Is
field.
there
The other
some
ones
sort
made
of thing,
sense.
like, did I just step in a trap? Is there like hey, we can tell this about somebody by the salad dressing that they
No,
use?
no, not at
Okay.
all. No, but I mean, like,
Are you planning a surprise party for me? You want to have my favorite kind of salad?
well, yeah, but I also thought, like, if we're having a surprise party, though, we'd have like chicken fingers, and we're not dunking them in balsamic vinegar.
Oh, is that how we go? We go with chicken fingers at our parties.
And to
Okay.
be honest, now that you mention it, balsamic is kind of a douchey choice for a salad dressing.
Right. It's like a guy who
Would
doesn't
you
wear
expect
jeans.
anything else?
Yeah.
No, listen. I think
What's
honestly,
not-
hang on. A balsamic vinaigrette, to me, it's classic. It's timeless. It's
Thank you.
there's something
Oh.
comforting about a balsamic
I
vinaigrette.
don't mind it. I mean, I'm not
I'll
saying
wear
that.
a lot. I'll wear a lot about like the things that I say that come off a certain kind of way. But I think Fletch, that was uncalled for. Like, what in the world? Like, what? Roquefort? Is that what you do when you go to a restaurant? Do you say, "Do you guys have a Roquefort?"
Wait,
Yeah, he's a
wasn't that
fancy boy. He
wasn't
is a
that a
fancy
show?
boy, that Fletch.
What was a TV show? The Roquefort Files.
Oh God, we have to go. You know what, Kevin? We're so sorry. We're sorry that we do this to you every single
Hey.
week, and we will
Well,
in
I love you
another
guys,
week.
All right.
Yeah, we love you too. Oh, did he
Whoa,
say
I love you.
He said it first. I almost said it first.
He loves us. It's confirmed. Also, we should take Kevin to Hamul.
What the hell is Roquefort?
I don't know, but they sponsor all
Type of
these
cheese.
segments. Like, we should take Kevin and do a wild night of gambling.
At first, when you said they sponsor all these segments, I thought it was like Roquefort cheese. Holy cow. A lot of money and big cheese all of a sudden. No, Kevin AC, one of the best. He gave you the phrase that you need to call in with. So I'm not gonna, you know what? In 5 minutes, we'll tell you what time to call in with the phrase, the country music phrase that he gave us. You call him with that, you're gonna win Luke Bryan tickets, but we're gonna tell you when to call in about 5 minutes. So just hang in there. In the meantime, so going from one Padres insider to the next, Kevin AC, he's up to date on everything that's happening currently.
Mhm.
Eric Hosmer, after his career in Major League Baseball, and it was a great career, obviously won a World Series with the KC Royals, came to the Padres, not as great of a time with the Padres. That's fine. Went to the Red Sox, announced that he is transitioning into a media career. He's got the new podcast, and he had some of his old friends join him on the show. Fernando Tatis Jr. was there, a couple of other players. And so he's having this sit down and talk. And he actually confessed that he gave Ha-Sung Kim a tip on how to control his nerves at the major league level. Give this a listen. So Ha-Sung Kim is already your favorite baseball player. If you missed it there because it's a hysterical story. Eric Hosmer told him that a lot of the Japanese-born and Korean players who came to Major League Baseball in order to calm their nerves, Hosmer noticed that a lot of them smoked cigarettes. And so Ha-Sung Kim started smoking like a chimney his rookie season in the major leagues.
God.
And then told him he would quit in spring training, came back and was smoking like a chimney the next season.
I love this story.
Ha-Sung Kim. Ha-Sung Kim. Ha-Sung Kim.
Man, oh,
just
man.
smoking heaters.
Roquefort cheese sounds terrible.
Is it a blue cheese? I think it is. Blue
A
cheese.
sheep milk blue cheese from southern France. Let me give you the description here.
I'll bet you it's pretty good.
No,
I like blue cheese.
the cheese is white, tangy, creamy, and slightly moist
By the way,
with veins of blue mold.
all,
That's literally what it says.
all ways you could describe me.
White,
With
tangy,
veins of
creamy.
mold.
Blue.
Blue.
Look at I'm almost translucent.
You are Roquefort cheese.
That's why they call me Richie Roquefort Hornberger.
TD, the way you set that question up though made no sense.
Why?
You're talking about all the stars on the team. What's your favorite salad dressing?
He said Mike Schilt is addressing the team.
That's a lie.
Lap.
What?
I cannot believe. I
What?
can't believe. That's the longest lap payoff in the history of the
Are
show.
you kidding me?
It is now 11 minutes later.
He said it.
He did not.
He
It's a
said
different
it.
word.
He said addressing.
Get out.
Golly.
I cannot believe that was what I was like. Oh, that's a great question.
It made no sense.
Meanwhile, it's a non sequitur based off of something he didn't say. Holy smokes. I love this
He
guy.
just ran into the stairs. It was fine.
Oh. All right, guys, listen, we have a lot of fun on this show. And the reason is because, first and foremost, because TD is who he is. There's no question about
Don't give
that.
him credit.
No, we got to give him some credit.
Okay, we'll do it before he gets back.
Yeah. Fletch also lovable target for our ire at times. But also because I'm in a good mood every day. I wake up every day in less pain than I finished my NFL career in. And it's all thanks to the Good Feet store. So if you've never been to a Good Feet store, I don't blame you. Maybe you've passed by it in strip malls and things like that. You might not know what it is. But if you're struggling with lower body joint pain, this place is for you. So the Good Feet store has these arch supports. You put them into your footwear, any footwear that you walk around with daily, whether they're work boots or, just, some slide out sandals even. I've worn them with the sandals. And you walk around and what you notice is all of a sudden all that joint pain starts to melt away. I was a skeptic when I first went in there. It's a try before you buy experience. They tell you, hey, just walk around in them for a little while. I'm like, yeah, these are comfortable, but what are they really going to do for me? Well, your feet are the foundation of the rest of your body. Standing, walking, the way you walk, all of it impacts the way your joints feel. And so if you have ankle pain, foot pain, knee pain, hip pain, back pain, especially lower back pain like I had, these are for you. My back pain melted away. I have so many good days now. My knee pain virtually disappeared. The hip pain has disappeared. So I am walking proof that this works. So if you're struggling, if you're walking around and you've passed by a Good Feet store, it's time to stop in one. You can check them out at goodfeet.com. That's goodfeet.com. And by the way, you have to call in at exactly 8:26. That's 2 minutes from right now at 877-767-4760. If you call in with the country music phrase that Kevin Acey gave us, you're walking away with those Luke Bryan tickets. That's in 2 minutes.
760 has chances for you to win bonus bucks. Yep, $1,000 every day this week. Just listen for the keyword, then enter it at sportssd.com. Your next chance coming up at 9 a.m.
Hey, it's Fletch for SDFatLoss.com. You got to get over there today. SDFatLoss.com. If you mention Big Rich, TD, and Fletch, you're going to get $200 off the program. If you've heard us talking about SD Fat Loss for a long time and you just haven't pulled the trigger yet, now is the time to do it. Think about what you got coming up over the next couple months and think about how much better your life would be if you were down 30 pounds just 2 months from now, because most people do. They lose 30 to 40 pounds within the first 2 months of SDFatLoss.com. And that's exactly what happened for the three of us. If you remember the three of us about 7 months ago, you remember a much louder, heavier show. Now we are much more calm. Well, because we're skinnier. We feel better about ourselves. And we all feel healthier too. Sleep has gotten better. Life has gotten better. I can't imagine going through what I've gone through over the last couple of months with this broken leg. If I had an additional 40 pounds on me, everything would have been a little bit tougher. So get on over to SDFatLoss.com, make a life-changing decision today, and start feeling better about yourself. Start looking better. When you're at the pool this summer, at the beach this summer, trust me, it's the way to go. SDFatLoss.com. Get $200 off if you mention Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. And really, it just starts with a conversation with you and Wayne and Chloe. They've been our weight loss team. They will be your weight loss team as well. SDFatLoss.com. The consultation is free. This update is presented by Toyota Carlsbad, relaxed and friendly since 1972. Padres win yesterday in Colorado 5-2. Getaway day today. Padres will play at 12-10, looking to take 3 out of 4 from the Rockies. Last night in the NBA playoffs, the Heat evened up their series with the Celtics. It was a 111-101 win. They made 23 threes in that game. That makes it a 1-1 series. Thunder go up 2-0 on the Pelicans, dominant 124-92 win. You can listen to the Lakers tonight on San Diego Sports 760. They'll play the Nuggets in Game 3 at 7 o'clock, and the NFL Draft is tonight. 5 o'clock it gets started. You could also listen to that right here on 760. Spring in now to Toyota Carlsbad and save on tons and tons of new Toyotas arriving daily. Shop and save on Toyota Carlsbad's great inventory at toyotacarlsbad.com. Toyota Carlsbad, the relaxed and friendly place since 1972.
Sounded dirty. Look, Rich is getting down in here.
Nobody heard the first two noises that TD made, but they were much more feminine than the one he actually came
I thought
here.
they were much more masculine. Hey, big congrats to Joshua. Won those Luke Bryan tickets. He had the phrase that pays that he got from Kevin Acey.
Morgan Wong.
That's right. It's Kevin Acey's favorite country artist, Morgan Wong.
He was like, that's great that an Asian performer can really captivate a country listening audience. Meanwhile, it's Morgan Wallen.
Can't wait for that show.
Right. Well, yeah. Morgan Wong?
Morgan Wong
I thought you meant Luke Bryan.
playing out in Vegas. Can't wait for the Luke Bryan show too.
Yeah, that's August 8th, North Island Credit Union Amphitheater. We still have a pair of tickets to give away, so if you didn't win Luke Bryan, you
Got
can win
Strike Force.
San Diego Strike Force tickets. That's coming up this Sunday, so you got to be ready to go. They're going to be playing the Bay Area Panthers. SDStrikeforce.com. I like just the Bay Area Panthers. Like, yeah, we're like over in this general area.
Yeah. The Tri-City Friends playing against the Bay Area guys. Yeah. So Bill
I mean, it's
Belichick.
no worse than the Golden State Warriors.
I agree. I think that's stupid.
Well,
Well, I mean, it's I don't know.
what if they were the finest city Padres? Like, just use it.
Wouldn't hate that.
That's not bad.
I kind of like it, actually.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
So Bill Belichick is joining all this draft media. He's going to be with the Pat McAfee show. He's also going to grab a huge chunk of cash to jump on Manningcast this upcoming season. So it didn't work out in terms of the coaching carousel for Bill Belichick. He wanted to coach. He did not get a job, which really sort of feels like, 31 teams probably screwed that up.
Mm-hmm.
Now, granted, not all 31 other teams were searching for a head coach. And, there's a lot of reasons why maybe you don't hire Bill Belichick, but the fact that none of them did, all right, well, whatever. Moving right along, he's moving right along. He's transitioning into this media role. And not a lot of people saw this coming, but if you ever played for him, you would. And here's a couple of reasons why. So when I was in those meetings, like, it is performative. Whenever you get in front of a group of people, you have to be compelling. Now, we were a captive audience. We were there because we were being paid to be there. We were listening to him because we were being paid, obviously, handsomely to be NFL football players. So we had to listen to him. But Bill Belichick is a great orator.
Was he a laser pointer guy or was he a yardstick?
He was a laser pointer guy. Yeah.
So I thought if you would have told me this like 5 or 6 years ago that he was going to be transitioning into some sort of media role, I would have said, well, he's going to suck at that. But then you remember the NFL 100 thing came out on NFL Films,
Yep.
and they did the 6 or 7 episodes where Bill Belichick was the host of a show, and he was talking about the different great players who have graced this game, and he was fantastic.
Yeah.
Like, he did such a good job conveying and making football simple for people who don't understand the game the way he does. And I thought he was excellent at it. So I can't wait to see him on the Manningcast this year. I think he'll be more entertaining than Eli.
Well, and it's a comfortable role.
Whoa. Eli all of a sudden has been likable.
Yeah, actually, I do like what the Manningcast has done for Eli Manning, because I heard for years that he was a super funny guy, like kind of a quirky sense of humor from players who had played with him. And they all loved Eli Manning. But like from the outside looking in, you're like, he kind of seeems dumb.
Right.
But he's not.
Because
He's
he always has that dumb look on his face, which he still has.
I
It's
really
just he's
hate this
talking.
guy.
But okay, if Eli Manning has resting dumb face, Phillip Rivers had resting, you know what face. Like when I saw Phillip Rivers before I knew him, I was like, oh, that guy's a jerk.
Mhm.
He had resting jerk face.
Right.
He had-
Right.
He had RJF.
Right.
And then when I met him, I was like, oh no, like this is a good man. He's a great friend.
He's just real squinty.
He's like a devout Christian. And when he trash talk obviously this all came out as the internet became more popular and people were on social media listening to like clips of games and stuff, but he doesn't curse when he trash talks. So I'm like, oh no. All that vitriol that we all said about Phillip Rivers before actually getting to know him, like, no, he's like a super, super sweet guy.
Mhm.
And he just appears to be a certain way. So I love that for Eli. I love the fact that I got to know Phillip better and many people know him better now. For Bill Belichick, I'm going to really appreciate what this does for him, because it's going to teach a lot of people what I've known and a lot of players who've played for him known for years. He's actually also a pretty funny guy. And I think the more comfortable he gets in this media role, people are going to see that sense of humor more and more.
It's very different from him at a press conference where he's trying to avoid every question someone's throwing at him. And
Yeah.
he grunts and grovels and we're on Cincinnati. This is more like he's trying to impress you at the same time. And he's like up and he's speaking clearly and he's very well spoken and he's talking you through different plays on film that you don't really understand, but he does. And he's going to break it down in the easy way.
Mhm. Mhm. You brought up laser pointers. I'll tell you something that bummed me out.
Mm.
I got a laser pointer and my TV doesn't reflect it when I point it at it.
Yeah, big problem.
Yeah, it's a bummer.
Yeah, because the screen actually absorbs the light.
Yeah. So because I like to pause it and point out things that are stupid about whatever show we're watching, and it made it
I'm
not.
so glad I'm not your
What?
child.
I'm convinced. Like, I mean, we don't need a caller after the show. We don't need to call.
Your
like,
family hates you.
Sarah absolutely hates watching television with you. There is no question in my mind. Like, knowing Sarah, who reminds me a lot of my own wife.
Call her now if you want.
Annie and Sarah are cut from the same cloth. They are not entertained by us in general.
Yeah,
But
that's
then
correct.
Throw on top of it that you're laser pointering the shows that she wants to watch.
I took our remote and then I zip tied a laser pointer on the bottom of it, and then it didn't work. It was a bummer.
Are you the guy who will like pause the TV to be like, Sarah, you're on your phone, you're missing this?
Yeah, I mean, maybe. I don't know if I would say those exact words, but I would rewind it. I do that a lot where I'm like, check this out. And you look at something in the background, or I'll say, hey, watch this guy's face,
By the
or
way,
look at this guy's hands, was that an Apple Watch? I mean, this is 1856.
You unintentionally just wrote a Jeff Foxworthy joke. You might be a redneck if you put a laser sight on your television remote control.
I would not disagree with that. Yeah. So anyways,
I just don't want to miss a target, honey.
Well, sometimes you were far enough from the TV that you can't just point and say, see in the upper right-hand corner, I want to actually take the laser pointer and go, look, is that a Starbucks cup?
Yeah, that is not a CGI dragon. That's a seagull that accidentally got left in the scene on Game of Thrones.
Yeah, that's exactly
You
right.
probably talk during movies at movie theaters too, huh?
I do not. I am not that guy.
Oh, wow.
Sarah will talk, though.
She will.
Yeah. And it's almost like she'll go like, oh, why would you do that? I'm like, I'm watching this with you right now.
Anne will say things to me like at the start of a movie. Like she'll lean over and she won't say anything out loud, but I'm enjoying like the setup to a movie, right? I'm enjoying like the building of the synopsis, especially movies that we have very little awareness of what they were going to be about when we go. And we see movies so rarely that it really does feel like a treat when we're in theater. Typically, we go to one of those theaters where they serve you food and drinks.
Yeah,
like it's
the
really
Lot.
The Lot. This is a
Love
good
the
one. They have one at Liberty Station, La Jolla. I love the Lot. So,
Sinopolis.
Sinopolis is great. So, anyways, at some point within the first 20 minutes of the movie, Annie almost always will lean over and go, "What's going on?"
I get that too.
And then I'll lean over and be like, "I don't know either.
Yeah.
This is also my first time seeing the movie. I think they're gonna tell us if we just hang in there."
I
She'll
do.
be like, "Because none of this makes sense." Yes,
It's the exact conversation I have.
me either. See, that's the thing about movies. What they do is they introduce you to the characters, and then salient plot points that you don't realize will be used later on are coming up now. So if you could stop effing talking to me and allow me to watch this movie, I think we'll all learn a lot.
I'm also the guy that, for some reason, I don't know why this is built into me, but like I want everyone to know when the previews are happening. Like I am not going to go see that. So literally the preview will end up be like, coming to theater September 21st. And then you hear me, nope.
I don't think he knows this, but it's my dad's birthday today, and we made an agreement.
Wait, your dad doesn't know
Yeah,
it's
no.
his birthday?
He doesn't know this story.
Should
But
we call him?
This is so surprising every year. Are you kidding me? Again?
he
How
was
often does
obsessed
this happen?
with the like Harry Potter books and the Harry Potter movies. So when they would come
Wait,
out,
Keith
oh,
was?
obsessed.
No
Really?
Yeah,
way.
big time. Like read them
Wow.
immediately as
Wait.
soon as they came out. Would go to like opening day in the movie theater.
Has he ever gone
Alone.
to Universal alone by himself?
No,
Well, I wear my cloak and I do have a Facebook group. But
not alone.
anyways,
He would take the whole family, except my mom. She hates movies.
wait, Universal
But-
Studios, has he ever been to Hogwarts? Oh, dude.
We'll take him
Whoa,
at some
wow,
We
I'm
need
missing
to.
out.
But my brother and I
It's like
made an
you're there.
agreement when Alex was like kind of about to leave high school and I was in middle school. We were like, we're never going to a movie with Keith ever again because the entire time it's this. What'd that guy just say?
Can they put subtitles up?
Because he can't hear. Like it's wait, hang on. What did Hermione just say? Is that important?
Is that Snape? It is. Oh, it's Snape. Okay. Anyways, could you pass popcorn? I mean,
Why is there a hole in the bottom?
could we go see Dune 2? I hear their popcorn's way better.
Did you see the
Extra butter, no corn.
By the way, Dune 2 was sick.
I haven't seen it yet.
I saw it at the lot. It was incredible.
Yeah.
Man, I didn't make it through Dune 1.
Yeah.
Thought I saved it here. Maybe I didn't.
What
They
were you looking for?
Wolverine and what's Deadpool?
Oh, Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, they put out a spoof popcorn bucket. Did you
Oh, I
see it?
saw that. Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, it's just their faces,
Yeah.
mouths open.
They look really surprised.
Yeah.
Happy to see you.
I need to figure out how to get Prize Picks going with movies. I don't know if that's even possible, but Prize Picks is always available for any sport you want to play.
Dude, Prize Picks during the NBA playoffs. If you haven't downloaded this app, do it right now. Open your app store, go to Google Play, download Prize Picks. It'll take you 60 seconds. Signing up, super easy. It'll take you another 2 minutes. Your first entry place, before you do that, use promo code DOGS, DOGS, and you're going to get your first deposit matched up to $100. So if you put in $20, you get to play with 40. If you put in $40, you get to play with 80. You put in $80, you get to play with 160. You put in $100, you get to play with $200. And that's exactly what I did on the referral of one and only Ben Fletcher over here, who had been begging me to download the Prize Picks app for literally months. And I finally did. And it was at the perfect timing because I caught the tail end of college basketball. And then I'm headlong into the NBA postseason. I'm even mixing in some Major League Baseball stuff. I love Prize Picks.
Sound of misinformation, my ass. And you got to download it today because tomorrow is a Flex Friday, which means you get a free $20 protected play. And that's the way to go, especially when you get into the postseason where things are going crazy. You do a 6-man lineup with $20 on it. Like at minimum, you're winning $500. At maximum, you could be winning $2,000 because you can get up to 100 times your payout on Prize Picks. So get on over there today. Use promo code DOGS. Bark while you do it. You're going to get that first deposit match up to $100. And tomorrow, protected plays on Flex Friday. That is the way to go. That is where I've made the majority of my money on Prize Picks.
Prize Picks, promo code DOGS, $100, or I should say deposit up to $100. They'll double it. This is a no-brainer. Download the app today. Again, Prize Picks. Pick more. Pick less. It's generally easy to do. Prize Picks.
It's that easy.
Coming up tonight, we have live coverage of the NFL Draft from Fox Sports Radio starting at 5. Then at 7, it's Game 3 between the Lakers and the Nuggets. Keep it locked in to San Diego Sports 760.com. Yeah. Ow!
Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. We have San Diego Strike Force tickets for you. If you want to win those, see a little indoor football league action here in San Diego. You just got to hang on for about 5 minutes. We'll tell you when to call. Okay, so bottom of the barrel. We got a busy show already.
Yeah,
and we got a lot more to give you.
that's right. Where do you want to start?
Well, I will say this first and foremost. The NFL draft is coming up tonight. And you know, even though we talked about this a lot, and normally bottom of the barrel is reserved for scraping the last stories off the editing room floor, this is going to be haywire in a couple of hours because there is no way that there are not going to be any trades leading up to the first round.
Right.
There is no way. I'm predicting multiple trades. I'm going to say if the over-under is set at 1.5, I'm taking the over. I think there's going to be at least 2 trades in the first round and potentially within the top 10. So I think if you're waiting for action, just wait longer. Speaking of which, Billie Eilish on bottom of the barrel. Speaking of action, she did a Rolling Stone interview.
Yeah, exactly.
And during the Rolling Stone interview,
well, she recently came out as a lesbian.
and now, is it a lesbian or is she bisexual or,
I
polyamorous? I don't know.
Now I don't know that answer.
Yeah, because listen, whatever she wants to do, I'm supportive of.
Yeah.
The direct quote from the article, we can't exactly read.
They asked her how she knew she wanted to, or she was lesbian, and she said, "I wanted my face
buried in a blank."
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And I mean, to me, I would go, yeah. I mean, obviously,
Honestly, play Mad Libs.
yeah.
Add a noun, and yep, you choose the right one. So
Congratulations.
Right. She was also very open about like her
hang on.
activities alone.
Yeah, like when you're playing a video game, sometimes you go 2-player, sometimes you go 1-player.
That's right.
And so she was talking about doing the 1-player stuff
Right.
in front of a full-length mirror. Yeah.
So yeah. So she you know, there's that.
Billie Eilish. Very quickly, have I mentioned lately? I love her music.
Yeah, I do.
I'm a
Weird. It's weird how all of a sudden.
bad guy.
It's a pretty cool song, actually.
It is a good song.
Yeah, yeah.
I like it around Halloween time. I like seasonal music. I love Christmas songs. I love the Hanukkah song from Adam Sandler. I like I like seasonal music, and for whatever, like Bad Guy. Well, for good reason. It's kind of a creepy song.
Yeah,
It's Halloween time. The Monster Mash. It's right there with Monster Mash. One of the best.
Absolutely. Hey, did any of your wives or yourself pick up one of Kim Kardashian's new Skims bras?
No. Now, is that the one with the perky situation?
Yeah.
It looks like the temperature has been turned down way low.
That is correct. They're built in, molded into the bra. So when whoever's wearing the bra has a shirt on, it looks like they're just free and it's cold.
It's chilly.
It's chilly. Apparently, those are exact molds of Kim Kardashian's own breasts.
So
Yeah,
do
Butthead
they-
would have a field
do
day
they
going to the
have-
store. We kind of scored.
I'm just saying, like, are they still for sale?
is it skims.com? Is that the website?
Is that where Joey Bosa gets his?
Dude, this is weird.
What?
This is like
Wait, why? Why?
2020 hit, and then all of a sudden this new timeline started, and I don't think I like it.
I gotta tell you
You
what.
don't like this? Why?
think I
Because
like
it feels like we're spiraling out of control.
Yeah,
I see. That's where you're wrong.
like the
I feel
NFL
like-
draft is coming up tonight. The World War III draft is coming up tomorrow. Get ready, folks.
Wow, wow, that's not confirmed.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah,
no,
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 not
no.
yet.
But we may find out tonight.
Yeah.
So I did not know that, and also I'm very interested in Skims. All of a sudden, I will say that more so than when Nick Bosa was in his compression short Skims,
Right.
which
Right.
I'll tell you what, maybe you could get an exact mold there as well.
Wildly uncomfortable advertising campaign with
The-
Nick Bosa
Oh, I thought you were
staring
gonna
with
say-
his eyes.
I thought you were going to say the Skims themselves were wildly uncomfortable.
No,
I don't know.
I'm
I haven't
very,
tried
very
them on
much
yet.
into
Not
this.
opposed.
Mhm.
Maybe we
thank
could
you.
reach out to Kim and she'll send us some Skims.
That'd be cool.
Thank
Thank you to Joshua who won those Luke Bryan tickets. He was
Right on.
giggling when he answered the phone and said, Morgan Wong.
Mhm.
Thank you to Kevin Azey who joined the show and dropped Morgan Wong on us. That was awesome. Thank you, Rich. Thank you, TD, the Roadies, the Dogs, the Hangers, the Bangers.
Happy birthday to your pops.
Happy birthday, Steve.
877-767-4760. If you call it exactly 8:57, you're going to San Diego Strike Force. Caller number 5 wins those tickets. The Herd is next.